let's go to the meat of today, which is the TCS eSports League. You heard that right. We have a very special edition of the match days. We have match day 6 of 9 going on here today. And of course, I'm not going to host that. We have a very special guest host here. We have Trox from Rocket League. Then we also have analysts here. And who could be better analysts of players than the players themselves? So we're going to have players here as guest analysts analyzing other players while they're playing. Sounds like a lot, but it's going to be a lot of fun. The winner of the league qualifies for the TCS eSports League Invitational Masters at the end of the season. And as a league, all 10 teams play, and best of 5 at 5 matches. So let's just head on over to the clip, and then I think the host and the casters will take the word. So I'm pretty excited for TCS eSports League with Rocket League.
The rush you feel when you score a goal, the frustration of losing, and the joy of winning. This is the essence of the TCS eSports League.
Placing 7th the last season didn't really feel too great because we barely missed the playoffs. This season we're even more motivated to make that final jump and finally reach the playoffs.
Last season, I said we're gonna win this league, and we ended 3rd. This time, we're gonna win for sure.
The teams in Switzerland are getting better and better, so it's becoming a bigger challenge to win the whole TCS eSports League.
After all those underwhelming seasons, I feel like this is my year.
Last season, we made a lower bracket run to place 2nd. This season, we're going to make an upper bracket run to place 1st.
And history will repeat itself for the 4th time in TCS history. Your champions of Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, and now Season 4 will be the Fairs-led Selection EVA eSports. Puts it past the line. Oh my God, what a play!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 6th match day of the TCS eSports League, live from the HeroFest in Bern. My name is Trox, and I'm joined today for the first match by the player with the highest whiff statistics in the league, Paelia from Lostic. Hello.
Hey Trox, how are you today?
I'm hyped, honestly, to be live here at this venue, which is amazing here to see all this effort put in. And I'm looking forward to the matches coming up. How are you?
Yeah, well, I'm really excited for today. I can't wait to start the first game, Arctic against Sir, and I hope it's going to be a close series today.
Well, obviously, we're not here alone. Joining us from overseas, basically, are our beloved casters, the English powerhouse, Digital Bacon, and the Eternal J. How are you guys?
A little bit jealous, I'm not going to lie. The set looks sick. It really, really looks sick. And I'm a little bit heartbroken because the original plan was to have us down there this weekend, but now that can't really happen, unfortunately, due to the world's circumstances. But man alive, it's going to be a good day today. Match day 6, a lot of interesting matches up for us, Bacon.
Yeah, there definitely is. Like, when we look at it straight up, first of all, like, you guys, like, spoiler alert, might be seeing a little bit of Stroby later. Unfortunately, he can't join Trox and Paya there on the stage, but that's purely because he's coming up in this first match on stream against Arctic Gaming, which straight up is a banger to really show what the TCS is all about with some beautiful gameplay.
Well, why don't we have a look first at the complete standings over at this big screen behind me? That's the wrong screen, by the way, but I'm joined here by my casters, as I said before. There we go, we finally have it. Top of the leaderboard, Edelweiss Esports, 5 wins, 0 losses, and a single game lost over all the 5 matches. This is absolute dominance coming in. Now, Kogos Nodders and Team Sir are in close pursuit. while My Insanity, Lausanne, Vision Gaming, and Arctic Gaming all are in the middle of the pack, waiting for a loss of the top teams to grab one of those top spots for the playoffs. Now, at the end, at the bottom of the table, but not out yet, we have Sparks eSports, Lostic, and Different. Now, as you said before, the first game is going to be Arctic against Team Sir, while the second, then Different, Lausanne, Edelweiss against My Insanity, Lostic against Coconutters, and then at the end, Sparks against Vision Gaming. Now, let's head back to that first game. Arctic Gaming sitting at a 2-3 game deficit against Team Sir, who had a good run until last week, now sitting at 4-1. After losing that weird game, let's just say that, against Lostic. Now, Paelia, what a coincidence. You're playing for Lostic, isn't that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're right, man.
What happened last week? We were all expecting you to go to reach 2-0.
And well, I was the same opinion, to be honest. Well, maybe just taking a game. I don't know, just after 2 games we just still stay quiet, played our game, and it worked at the end, and we were real happy that it worked out.
Now, Bacon, you cast that game. Do you have any idea what happened after that second game for Lostic?
Pai is on stage right now. I don't want to rip into the lad, but he got lucky. No, we love it, Pai. You guys played phenomenal during that game. The problem really came down towards Sir just not having a game plan. This was the weakest that Sir looked this season long, and it's phenomenal that they've been incredible so far. You know, Sir have always been the most consistently inconsistent team, which is like a crown nobody wants, and last week was just not happening for them. And Lostic coming on in was a bit like a Christmas miracle come early, wasn't it, Paya, where you saw what your opponents were doing, and they weren't really hitting off mechanically, as well as not really using a lot of passing plays. You guys were able to punish that and be able to turn it around. It went all the way to game 5 and was really an interesting series purely for what can happen in league plays like this, where you have to turn up each and every day, and really has made the bottom of the bracket just absolutely delightful to look at, when currently right now anyone can still make it through to next season.
Well, Peter, what's your opinion? How do you think you're going to proceed in the season? I mean, you have a hard match coming up today, but we'll talk about that later. Do you think you can still pull through to these secure ranks?
It's not going to be easy to me. I just hope we can get a high place, or if we were lucky enough, maybe making it to playoffs. But it's real hard to say right now. But we will see after the game, after Coconut, so we have made some progressions, and after it, we will see end season.
Yeah, now Peter, you have played against Arctic and Team Sir now. Mixed result, let's be honest, but in your opinion, who are the players to look out for on both teams?
For Team Arctic, I guess the best players at the moment, Toif. You can't really predict what he's going to do, right, when you have him as opponent. And on the side of Sir, it's just Aaron said he played all seasons on a high performance. He's a real good player to watch out, but also with Ropi and Milox, he has some really good teammates, so I'm a bit more scared of Team Sir.
Now, do our casters agree is the question?
Yes. I actually do think so. I honestly can't really think much more to add to that. I think we're kind of along the right sort of lines. It's a bit of a difficult one to weigh up, because as Bacon mentioned, like Sir can be consistently inconsistent, and sometimes they can be the most amazing team in the server, sometimes all the players can just fall off at a moment's notice, and it can be difficult to sort of like, you know, take everything as a solid sort of point to note. For me, I'm sort of a bit suspect about predicting them to win this series. I can't really think of I think pound for pound that squad individually are all fantastic, but in reality, like, you know, they could fall off just like they did last week.
Yeah, especially when you look at Arctic, and they are the team that is a wild card, essentially. They can get upsets anywhere. We've seen it already this season, back up against Lausanne, who, heyo, this weekend just went and got themselves that qualification spot through Switzerland to the TCS International Masters. So big up them, being able to take down Edelweiss in the finals 4-2. So it just shows Arctic being able to take down the current, I guess, crowned kings of Switzerland. You know, it might not be crowned that long, but they're currently the team to beat, essentially. And you look at Lausanne right now sitting 5th, right mid-table, alongside Arctic 2-3. So that's the beauty of TCS Esports League. And in the intro video, you guys heard it. Anyone can take anyone. Switzerland is absolutely stacked at the moment. So even though Sir, pound for pound, statistically is the better team, Arctic could turn up, and I would even go as far as to say it's like 3-1 Sir if they're not careful.
So is that your prediction, Bacon? 3-1 to Arctic?
Go on, why not? Let's have a little bit of fun.
Love that. Jay, what about you?
I'm going to go 3-2, Sir. I just think that they're a better team, but I'm going to make it a close win because, honestly, it could swing over to Arctic. Bacon's 100% accurate in his own prediction.
What about you, Palia? What do you think? Who's going to take the win today?
Well, I think Sir's still angry from last week, the loss, and I think they're going to win 3-1.
Yeah, that's probably the prediction I'm going with as well, because Sir has to prove that it was just a fluke against you, and they can't allow to lose again, especially if they want to grab that top spot. Now, guys, are you ready and hyped for the match to come, for the first match?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're
yes.
Hyped. We're always hyped every week. That's what we live for Mondays at this stage for the TCS Esports League. So, yeah, this is going to be a fun time. Very fun time indeed. I just think that this is going to be a good pace setter at the very least, you know?
It definitely is indeed. You look at this, the kick today off with what I would personally call a highlight match just because of how much could be changed on up. Of course, like we got games like Edwards versus Mind Santi later on, and then Sparks versus Vision Gaming. So we've got tons of good games coming on up today, but this is really just going to set the bar for us, isn't it, Trox?
Well, yeah, the game of the week, I would say, is probably either Edelweiss against Mind Sandy or the battle of middle pack, the Pegas against Sparks. I'm looking forward to these games, but we're getting to these later. Now, I'm not quite sure if the players are ready yet. No info on them as far as we know, so let's just talk about a bit more about this weekend. Sorry, Palia, did you have a good weekend with lots of sleep, lots of healthy food? Did you?
No, to be honest, I didn't sleep a lot this weekend. I'm playing at the lawn with some friends. Not, well, what I eat, I just don't want to talk about it.
Now, you were probably here at Switzerland, right? Did you have a blast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was at Switzerland with some friends, and it was a real blast. But now I'm okay, and I hope that I can perform today.
All right. Well, that topic we'll grab again later because I've heard the players are ready. Casters, are you ready to take over?
Oh yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Absolutely. We're always ready to take over for you, Trucks. The true professionals in this one. I'm joking. I love you, really. Yes, it's going to be a tough little battle for the likes of Sir, obviously, being in this position where they could very easily fall to their opposition. The Arctic Gaming side set to take another good upset. Will Sir be able to turn the tables around and make up for their loss against one of the bottom teams on the table? Well, it's time to find out. In the white half, it will be Arctic. In bronze, it will be Sir. Bacon, what's the biggest win condition for you for both sides?
For me, it's just got to be looking at good team passing plays once again for Sir. Make sure that they make up doubly for last week where we didn't see anything of that. On the opposite end, it's going to be about pace, aggression, and basically trying to just make things awkward for Sir. If you're the Arctic lads, just don't give them a lot of control. We know what Sir can do if they're given a little bit of breathing room to try and formulate a plan.
Already awkwardness coming out from positions and the weird back passes that are taking the ball away from Sir's hands. They are able to get some demos in, dribble players up towards the offensive, but it shouldn't be taken away by Storm all the same. High close towards the ceiling, not put off it and put off the backboard instead. Pass from Kasalian is missed out, so they won't be able to capitalize on a second chance. The offensive is going pretty strong though early on for the Arctic Gaming Camp. Ball up, RNZ on target. Kasalian's going to miss that one out. And Sir with the early game start, pretty typical for them. The early game does go well. It's that mid and late game that I'm being concerned about.
It is indeed. So far this season have been great on their starts, and especially RNZ. I mean, we talk about them through and through, sticking with the Swiss Incredible Rebels side throughout every season. They do not want to let go of him, and I don't blame them. He is pound for pound the most consistent player in the whole of TCS, always putting the work on in. And of course, you can see that with the opening goal and already sitting in net ready for defense. He's got a backup Straby here, and that's a good little pop and transition downfield.
Look at Hippofax and the Storm already on the rotations back over. Me looks for the shot on target.
Oh, what
that challenge is going to go well, and that will be a second to the board of Sir. Defensive just wasn't quite there. I would have thought that Hippofax would have remained in that net. He didn't.
Well, it sort of all comes down to Melox, who I don't want to say has no right going for that ball, but normally you don't. You let your opponent jump in the air and try and get the 50-50 there because it's a little bit easier to read. Your opponent has a little bit less control over it. So it just comes down to Melox getting creative. We know he played alongside the Edelweiss lads this weekend at Switzerland, so maybe he picked up a trick or two, Jay.
Teed off control back between Storm and Pipifax. A bit too quick on the offensive off the ceiling and the corner. Pipifax will go. RNZ up. Storm will try and contest this, trying to pinch this away. RNZ and Melox with control. Bounce out goes high and wide of the box. Pipifax with his own control. Wrapping in against Stroby. Beats him. Gonna try and beat the second of RNZ. No boost. RNZ will challenge on towards one of Storm. Kasalian also moves closer inland, but out towards the backboard here will the ball be played. Again, they're trying to set something up here for the Sir side, trying to bait in the defensive. For the most part, the touches are good though, so shots placed high and they wrap around to try and find the clear.
Yeah, Sir right now need a third goal to just put themselves safe, I feel, Jay. We definitely know anything can happen at the drop of the hat, especially when you've got Kasalian, who has just been a mastermind for setting up plays. Stroby can't even reach that. Pipifax just granted an opportunity. Look, the pop downfield. RNZ can't make any decent save, and Pipifax is just there to capitalize.
Stroby was way too far back, expecting more power on that ball and definitely expected to rotate towards the net. And an awkward pop equals an opening goal from the Arctic side. Out of the midfield and the sideboard coming in from Stroby. Again, the kickoffs do favour Arctic as they try to get offensive going. But Kasalian off that backboard alongside Pipifax back in towards the corner. There's 100 points of boost that he can pick up there. Stroby off the backboard, challenged by Storm, evades that quick shot in from his teammate. Melox will try carrying even further forward. Is pushed out into the centre line. RNZ back up. Pipifax over to Kasalian now. It's a bit too far forward of that ball, so Stroby can intercept pretty effectively. Now the pressure is definitely on here. RNZ over towards that corner play. Up for Pippi once again. RNZ only goes so far outside of this midfield line. Bumps are coming through though. They are starting to try and thin out that line of defense.
Yeah, and RNZ here, just with that little clearance down into the corner and the boost steal, should buy a little bit of breathing room. You can see for Sir is not confident just yet. Good shot coming on through, but Kasalian read it so well. Arctic, they might have had a tricky opening 2 minutes, Jay, but they have really turned this around.
And again, with that defensive from Kasalian highlighting the awkward angles that they're going to try and place this ball against the Sir side. Way too quick, trying to outpace their opposition, but that's hurting their accuracy a little bit. That pass into a shot is not going to connect. 1 minute and 15, and we're still 2-1 up for Sir. But now demo plays are coming through. RNZ's bumped out the way. This ball is slow on off the post, and Storm couldn't get a decent shot in. He would have challenged RNZ. He would have kept the defensive together. And outside of this corner, Storm will try go for a dribble play. Challenged by one. Pipifax looking for his shots in. Kasalian there at the midfield to try and defend it. Pippi's way out of position, so this is going to go right to the Sir hands. They can clear and counter.
Yeah, but Arctic have some nice little control over the midfield. Pipifax actually Lucky that RNZ ran into him there. Kasalian's been putting in some nice little touches just to keep this ball moving. And overall, Arctic have got a great little team plan together. That, a little bit too far forward though. Storm doesn't have the legs to run onto that.
Stroby down, Bibifax takes us away, 30 seconds left. He's going to try carry this forward with an offensive, uses his flick early, gets it in a challenge on Melox's part. Stroby puts that one back into the white half. They need a counter-attack to go well if they want to defend this first game. Now Melox comes up here with control. Kasalian beaten to the backboard. Here comes Stroby, also challenged the same. Back up, RNZ controls in. That's on target, actually. One good 50-50 will turn the 2-goal lead back up, and Sir are going to take game one.
They are indeed getting 2 goals in 5 seconds. Near impossible. It is possible, Jay, but we have never seen it, I do believe, in this kind of scenario right now. So, by all means, Sir have it, and it is secured as soon as this ball touches the ground once again. But Arctic, showing what they can do. Sir just having a couple of opportunist moments, and that largely came up in the end, like RNZ's goal there at the NJ was just purely because Arctic were running everything forward. They knew they only had a little bit of time left and they had to get a goal, so they had left the defense a little bit open, and you can't blame them in that situation, can you?
Yeah, absolutely. Things did look to get a bit more spicy there for the Arctic Gaming side. Got close, but no cigar in the end. And some of those defenses were looking a bit awkward. They were basically beaten out by single challenges from the Sur side. And while they were trying to put the ball in awkward positions, off center in particular, like it never really amounted towards any good counter attack. I think for the Arctic side, like they had a couple of great opportunities, but none of them ever really tipped over to a good chance to turn the game back around for me.
Well, that's just generally down to Arctic having a much stronger attack than their defense. They want to get control of that midfield early on. Where they didn't have that at the start, things didn't go right. Here in game 2, I expect a big change up from Arctic, where they finally got, let's just say, warmed up a little bit, and they're into the flow of things. But realistically, it all starts from the kickoff, and they need to dig deep into their opponent's half now. Like this.
Kasalian and Storm already up. Big miss from Stroby, but Storm went up early, expecting to challenge the man. Passes that in. Pipifax caught in rotation, though. Unable to get the shot. Storm will try and carry it forward regardless. Melox and Stroby up. Pipifax crosses to the box. That's a fantastic shot. Beautiful and accurate and clean for the opener.
Oh, I am just so proud of the boys for this type of play right here, because it takes real teamwork, real communication to get in place that, because you look at Storm, for example, he has to cut across instead of sticking to those very traditional rotations back into defense. And you compare it to last season, but RNZ's just going to shut me up saying, look, we can do just as much, and heck, I can do that just on my own.
That was a fantastic double tap. And no one in the defense to receive it again from Arctic. Very, very open, getting a bit overconfident against Sir. No punishments being taken. The back line, again, the main thing that lets them down on this right half. Midfield control, going to try to see if they can counter and try and get the early offensive. Pipifax teeing this up for Kasalian. Sideboard out off the ceiling. Melox challenged and beaten. Bumps coming through against RNZ.
Oh,
straight rule 2 outside of the box, but it does get returned, so there will be no such offensive to counter back from the Arctic side. So they're trying to set up their own ones, but shots in. Storm will challenge. No one's left towards this net. Storm, if you can get a good shot in, then RNZ going to have to try and break away from this. They're locked in their own competitive game here, Bacon. Neither side going to break rule 2.
Yep, no commitment issues here on this pitch. They are there for the rest of this 2v2, should we class it as right now. That is unless the ball goes in, dislodges them. I don't know, a player might just go in and give them a knock. But I love it to see the respect there between these two players. And what a setup for Stroby onto Melox! That is bonkers!
Stalemate broken, 2-1 up now for Sir. And again, baiting in the defensive. They pushed forward. They weren't able to get back to the defense in time. So one player left, went for that challenge. There it is, 2-1 at the 3.5-minute marker. It continues to press forward as well for Sir. Look at how open this net really is. Arctic have got a serious problem here on defense.
They do indeed. Off the kickoff, you can see Storm cheating up there. I don't like it at all, Jay. And that, I guess that's just because, coming from me, I prefer a more passive playstyle, especially at the start, just to try and make sure that you're safe on boost and then you can get control of the ball instead of just trying to rush it downfield. But yeah, you can see the price they've had to pay. That's a mistake from Kasalian as well. So Melox has got an easy route and Pipifax is all on his own.
Ooh, still gets the defensive though, off the crossbar. Very awkward ball, almost scored an own goal. The offensive continuing to come through here. Stroby up to RNZ, trying to challenge Kasalian. That ball's dangerous, but Stroby committed too far forward, Melox too far back. Off that corner, he will still set it up. Storm's got to hold this ball's position. Stroby's going to go up, come back down. Does manage to challenge Kasalian in the midfield and keep it there. So now offensive can be set up. RNZ, light touch out. Stroby can receive it, put it right back downfield. Will be defended by Storm in this one. Stroby off to the side. RNZ will try to look for his opportunity, but Storm's going to take that away. Quick dribble allows Kasalian to also follow suit. Beat out 1 and 2. No third man inside, but still goes for a zero angle. Bump plays, but no one to receive the pass.
Yeah, the follow through just coming through a little bit too slow there from Arctic, and you could see that's because they want to focus on that defense right now, Jay. They've learned from their mistakes, but the problem is that they're 2 goals down, so they've got to sort of prioritize a bit of attack. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't moment.
RNZ into Stroby, next Storm with a big miss. Pipifax off to the backboard and the corner. Flick up, Kasalian off to the side. Pipifax coming forward, shot on close and missed. Corner board, second touch on Kasalian's challenge. May even go for another to force RNZ out of position, but that ball going way too far wide. Here comes Storm with a charge. Stroby there with a defensive. Kasalian coming up to continue the pressure in towards Pipifax next. Kasalian way too far forward. Storm with a basic shot and a basic defense comes out from Stroby. No way to break this back line, it seems. Pipifax going to try one more time, but RNZ gets out of that net onto the defense and clears to the midfield.
Arctic's starting to look a lot better. You're right, Jay, though. Basic shots being put on down, so the defense can easily pick it up. They need quick 1-2 punches. This is a nice move back on over, but Pipifax too far forward. Did not expect that ball. And again, shots just coming on through that are pretty punishing from the Sir side. It might not look like much, but it's really throwing rotations into whack, and you can see it here with Stroby. How does he miss that? But okay.
Oh my word! Look at you can't even look at it because it did take a little bit extra with Stroby's awkward pass. But either way, you saw how both players whiffed in the midfield for Arctic Gaming. Oh, that's upsetting. That is so upsetting for them because they had a decent amount of pressure. They were finally starting to look to build towards something, and now it's a 3-goal deficit with balls being placed awkwardly. Kasalian couldn't follow through on Pipifax's setup, and Stroby right back downfield. That's close to target, put off awkwardly. RNZ with a redirected chance, goes off the backboard into Melox though. Stroby will still hunt for his chance alongside Melox back here. Dunk down will go a little bit too high at the crossbar, but all this time put up by this pressure is going to be time taken away by the offensive Storm. Can't control the ball, got to beat Melox. Melox gets a simple challenge. Kasalian comes in, also awkwardly out towards the midfield. And 30 seconds left to continue to apply the pressure. A goal every 10 seconds if they want to bring this back, and 10 seconds have already passed.
They have indeed, so by all means, game's already done, but what about that one for the road, Jay? What a lovely redirect from Pipifax.
Yeah, Kasalian passing into Storm and Pipifax with a final shot. Good positioning to finally get it back downfield, and finally something out of the blue that catches Sir off guard. But as you mentioned, it's one for the road because this one might as well be done anyway. 13 seconds, 2 goals to make up. Ball up off the ceiling at the midfield. Stroby pass towards, will shoot high, run the time low. No chance to score. Storm will get close, but Melox has to block this ball, and he's won the game for his team. 2-0 now in this series, and only a single game from sweeping the opposition. And while Sir did look similarly good against the opposition last week, obviously, but that was a reverse sweep scenario. The question is how are Arctic going to be able to adjust? What should they adjust, and how can they adjust in order to make this reverse sweep happen?
For Arctic, it is just... It's hard to call, right? So the problem is they're playing what would normally be an A-OK pace for them. They'd be comfortable right now, but they're getting a little bit too caught out on their rotations, and it all just comes down to player mistakes. And I think Panic, realistically, Arctic need to get that goal up so that they're not playing from behind and just frustrated and panicking, trying to do a little bit too much with their boost. And it results in those rotations where you saw the double commit in the middle there, which just left the open goal for Stroby to eventually whiff, but RNZ cleaned it up. That is just completely down to Arctic's lines, their positioning getting all out of whack, and they need to sort that. If they get themselves set up like here, that pass across the storm a little bit too high, Pipfats can't figure it out. If it was just a little bit more powerful, a little bit lower, just above the crossbar, that would have been beautiful and a goal for Arctic. And it's just these very minor differences which will win them a game.
Well, pass in Fields, trying to hold an offensive back here. There was a player over in the net itself trying to bump defensive out of the way for the side, but nothing will come out. Ball in for Stroby, Storm coming up. Just gets shoved out of the way. Kasalian will still pass towards his teammates' general direction, but no chance for a goal. Pipfats with a good challenge, able to beat out one, but no further presence in this bronze half. It's backed up now. Challenge in, pass over. Big miss again from the Arctic Gaming side. Just can't seem to land those confident balls. The offensive looking very basic. Some mistakes being made. Pass out towards Pipfats did look good, but it's taken wide to the right. And again, nothing will get scored here.
Kasalian with zero boost in this kind of position as well is a little bit dangerous. You see he's got to run it back to defense, especially when this attack is coming on through. Beautifully received by Stroby, though, using Storm as a roof for that ball.
Nice opener, as again, Storm can only do so much, passed it right back down into his opposition. He would have had a shot anyway as Stroby, so he had to take that challenge. Not gonna happen. First to the board. So looking real good in our opening game, and talk a lot about the consistency issues for this side. Such things are not a problem in this series. Now mistakes starting to punish the Arctic side. This back pass from Pipfats cost them the second goal.
Yeah, and that's just a whiff right there. It hurts to see. Again, Jay, the only thing I could say was just instead of turning onto that, go back to net. But it's like a hindsight's 2020 scenario, right? There he thought with the high ball he'd be able to chase down onto it. It went a little bit too far back and thus he couldn't reach it. It's just the pains of Rocket League, really.
Ball continues to press forward. Kasalian off and about towards Melox. Storm on target. Second teammate there to receive, but Stroby gets there first, gets that defense and carries it all the way into the corner here. RNZ also there try and support this whole position. Stroby getting involved against Kasalian at the point-blank positions is Melox that does send that right back downfield. Pipfats lacking in boost numbers, challenged easily, and RNZ will get towards that ball. Storm off the ceiling, will push it back in towards the bronze half, but all these touch-and-go plays are not amounting to anything. They're just sent back immediately by Sir, and Arctic are not allowed to break out of their half for more than a 2-second period here.
Yeah, and I guess that's a little bit of a difference, right? When you look at Sir, they're not directly going for net. It's all about just keeping control of the field and making sure that they're topped up on boost. Eventually, the opportunity will show itself and they're ready to strike. Sir right now are playing such a comfortable game that they know their opponents will make a mistake and they know they'll be there to punish it.
3-0 at halftime as well. Sir have looked good, and I asked the question to you prior to this game, what Arctic have to do to adjust against that? Have they done anything really to adjust against the oncoming onslaught of the Swiss Incredible Rebels?
Nope, they're way too overcommitted right now. There's no one back in defense. Pipfats there was so little boost. Should have just left it. They weren't getting pressured. Kasalian could have picked up the back corner and then run onto that. This is a team right now that is just mentally broken.
Cyborg, Melox, 100 boost picked up off that corner. Back ball, Pipfats coming forward in towards Kasalian next. High off the corner, bounce down. Kasalian comes in with a decent shot, but RNZ takes that away.
Why is Storm so far forward?
Well, no pass received regardless. Wrapping over into the box. Melox will pass out of field into Stroby. No boost left for him. Pipfats comes up. Melox and RNZ, both players in net. Neither one knowing which one to go for the clear, but in that time, no one comes in to try and punish them here from the Arctic Gaming side. Ball pushed out, Storm challenged, pinched away. Melox and RNZ coming forward. 2 players out of position outside of that box. Ball into the corner and towards that ceiling. Stroby comes up, Gasalian shot on target. Finally something going right for Arctic Gaming.
Yeah, a little bit of hope there. Pipfax earlier just got told to stay back in defense. He did as he was commanded, sends the ball downfield, and Gasalian can finish it off. 2 goals now needed, Jay, in 1 minute and 12 seconds. It is a tall order, but still very possible.
Ball up and out, RNZ will pass to Melox at the midfield line. Shot in for Stroby, takes that high off the backboard. Big miss from Storm, actually challenged 50-50 in that particular case. Sailing back over towards the sideboard, pushed into the mid-center line. Melox off towards the corner. Backboard plays, Pipfax will take that away from the center line, so no shots can be registered. Now we'll try counter-attack off that ceiling, use that flick to get a bit of an inaccurate and very light touch in. RNZ can continue to control and stall for time. That's all they have to do at this stage. They're still 2 goals up. They need a return attack and the kickoff goal in order to bring this back here for the Arctic squad. Sideboard from Pipfax. Melox takes that one up high. Stroby there to redirect it. Fakes it out. It does go wide, however. No shot will be allowed. Still they pressure, still they stall, still they hold control of this game. Clear out from Gasanian, goes right into the hands of Stroby, who can just defend against it. As long as he gets that clear, he should have done enough to hold this game and this series for his side. Indeed, it comes through, and this one is done. 3-1 for Sir in game 3, 3-0 in this series for the Swiss Incredible Rebels. What a dominating performance, and one that I honestly didn't expect to see. I would have thought there would have been a bit more contest from the Arctic camp.
Yeah, I don't think anyone predicted Sir to go 3-0. I'm actually going to head on over right now to the TCS Discord, Jay, just purely to see in the predictions chat if anyone had put that on down. And just quickly, results predictions there.
There will be one. There will always be one.
3-1s, 3-2 to Sir. Yeah, I'm looking now. No one went 3-0. It was all mainly 3-1s to Sir. So whilst people did expect, you know, the Sir victory, no one expected it in this dominant fashion, apart from Timo. Timo of Mindsanity thought it'd be 3-0 to Arctic Gaming, so at least I'm not the only one that was on the silly Arctic hype there, you know?
Well, regardless, Arctic fall in a fashion that I certainly expected that they would have been able to have a bit more of a contest with, so in the end, they do go down, and we will go to a break as well. So could celebrate with that victory. Certainly a confident one, certainly ironing out a lot of their flaws, and hopefully they carry that forward as the rest of the day goes on. Do not go anywhere, TCS will return after the break.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me? I need help. We had a crash. Yeah, he's awake, but he's in a lot of pain. And I don't know where we are.
It's okay. I have your location.
Please just hurry.
Don't worry, you're in safe hands.
Thank you. Thank you.
No matter where or when, real help is by your side.
To strike.
Gentlemen, look at that. We have a third member here, and who else but Stroby? You just played on the game. How did you manage to get here so fast?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. It felt like we were in the mood to play, for sure. It felt really good to play. We had great synergy. And yeah, other than that, we just had, I think, another game plan than we usually have. We tried to play it a bit more aggressive, and I think it showed in the amount of pressure we were able to put on Arctic Gaming. And on the other side, it still was our brilliant defense that was going on. And it was pretty good, yeah. I'm very happy with that performance. And it's the first sweep for us of the season, so yeah.
Well, I think you really needed that after what happened last week, didn't you? You showed up today compared what you did last week. Now, there's a certain dynamic here, isn't there? Now, do you have any words about last week?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No?
I'm sorry.
Ilya, you wanna chip in what I'm talking about?
Was there anything last week?
I think it was a reverse sweep, but I don't remember which team.
What, a reverse sweep?
Yeah, but I don't.
I don't remember anything of that sort.
Are you sure? Was it all a dream, just a fantasy?
Yeah, probably. Just a bad dream, a nightmare.
Well, I guess after today's showing, it probably was. Now, Stroby, what are your plans for the next few games? Who are you up against, actually?
If I remember correctly, our next match is going to be Sparks.
Yeah. So, are you preparing anything special against them?
I think Sparks, they're youngsters of the league, basically, and all of the players are mechanically very talented. So we definitely have to respect that. But I think other than that, we all have more experience, far more experience competitively, far more experience in terms of pressure. Probably the team that has played the most games so far this season, just because we take everything to Game 5. And other than that, I think we definitely want to prepare for them.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to share anything right here.
All right, we'll talk later. Right? Now, you've talked about experience, right? You were in the grand finals in Season 1, weren't you? Do you feel where I'm going with that? Do you have memory?
Are you memeing me again?
I would never do such a thing.
You know
I'm
you would never.
Okay, I'm a professional.
Rolling up my past. Yeah.
Now experience, have you finally moved on from that?
Yeah, I increased my dodge dead zone.
You increased it?
Yeah.
I mean, Paella here had a dodge dead zone of, I don't know, 0.5.
I don't want to talk about it.
He had it very...
There are some secrets here.
Yeah,
you
there are some secrets
touch on that.
Talk about. But maybe our caster friends would talk about a bit more. Let's have them back in.
Let's shake up with them.
I mean, okay, apparently the casters aren't ready yet, so... Paella, do you have any questions to... or
hit me with anything.
What was the difference now? What did you respect this week more than last week? Did you change something in your game style?
I don't think it was about respect. I think Teamster goes into every series with the same amount of respect. It could be any team, Edelweiss or whatever. It's just always, okay, they're opponents, and we treat them like opponents and go on like that. I think today it was just really... I think everyone had their day, basically. Milox had a great weekend at Switzerland. He's warmed up. I think Aaron said didn't have to work that late today, and I'm obviously here and didn't have to work as well. So, yeah, I think just like a better daily form from us, for sure.
Yeah. So, last question from me personally. Looking at the whole league, who do you think is going to take it all?
Looking at the whole league, who's going to win? Or?
Yes.
Like so far, Edelweiss and Coconut just are definitely in the picture of taking the trophy this season. I think with the addition of Luis on the Edelweiss roster, he's a really, really good addition. He's a powerhouse player. And so I would, as an analyst, I would say Edelweiss. As a player, I would say for sure we're going to win this season.
Well, that's a confident statement from you. Paella, anything to add?
No, the same thing, but I mean, if Lausanne now wants that this weekend, the Switzerland, they are also an opponent to watch out. So I think everything can happen, so don't forget also about Lausanne.
It is a close league again, just like last season, sorry. The year feels very weird. Well, that concludes the interview from my part. Stroby, thank you for joining us. Now you can stay here because...
Am I allowed to stay here?
You're allowed to stay because you won. Yeah, but let's actually chip in. Let's take a look at the next matches with our counters again. Now, if we could... sorry. The next matchup is going to be different against... Help me out here. No preparation.
Lausanne.
There we go. Lausanne against different
brain.
eSports. At least one of us is a professional here today. Now, different Zero Pive with not the best look at the table right here. Against Lausanne, who just come fresh off a win of Switzerland this weekend, where they beat Edelweiss twice. Guys, do you think different has a chance? Let's be blunt here.
Well, to be honest, for me, Lausanne is going to take the game. The question for me is if different is going to take one game or not. But else, with Lausanne, with the momentum they have from the weekend, for me, they are the favorites today.
What about you, Stroby?
Yeah, I think Lausanne has looked great on the weekend, for sure. Still wondering of how this will translate to the TCS Esports League, of course, because we have seen them struggling throughout the season. I mean, the standings speak for themselves. You see Lausanne in a place where they really haven't been before, that low on the scoreboard, maybe 2 seasons ago or whatever. But like the team on paper is so strong. They're so strong, but they've been struggling in the TCS Esports League. And so I'm really looking forward to see how this different matchup is gonna add up, because different, they have Chicken, they have Nukes, they have Hell. 3 players, so incredible mechanical talent, with mechanical talent, that if they're able to put that to good use, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, now let's talk about Lausanne again. Yeah, like you said, they just won Switzerland. You know what happened last year? They won Switzerland. And the season after that, the TCS season after that, they finished 3rd after everyone kind of expected them to make an impact. Do you think the same thing could happen again, that they try, well, they show they can win lands, but in league play they just, well, not perform?
Yeah, I think Lausanne is a team. They are able to play good Rocket League. We've seen that. But I think what stops them from actually going far ahead in a tournament is up here, their mentality. I think they struggle to keep up a mentality during a series. They struggle to confront losses, confront their mistakes. And I think that's something they need to work on. They really need to work on that. And if they are able to sort it out, Lausanne is going to be even scarier, especially in these like playoff stages, in where every match counts.
All right, maybe let's have a look at the current standings at the big screen behind me, if the production could put that up. And I'm just going to move here behind Palia here. Let's look at current standings. Well, after that game between Sir and Arctic. Sorry about that. We have Team Sir still in 3rd place with a 5-1 now, while Arctic is struggling 2-4. Maybe in a tight spot here for the next weeks. But the next matchup, as we said, different against Lausanne. Now, maybe our casters might want to chip in here.
Let's hear their opinion.
Yes, indeed we will. I think a lot of actually was pretty nicely covered by you guys on the desk at the moment, because like a lot of what we can say is just a case of when will Different get their first win in the league. They're still the only squad yet to get a victory so far, and Lausanne, as you mentioned, current champions of Switzerland, possible contenders for the top end of the league. You know, they've had a bit of a rough start in league play, but all in all, this should be a matchup that they should be able to dominate pretty effectively.
It definitely is. Like, when you look straight to Lausanne, it should be an easy 3-0, especially when they're running off the high of this current weekend just gone. Different, it's the same sort of case, and I mean, I don't want to be harsh, but it's the same sort of case as with Lostic, where it's each week you're going to be grinding out, looking for that win, waiting for that moment, and that's why we can't wait for week 8, which is coming up in 2 weeks' time, because where you've got Different versus Lostic there, that is going to be a real difference maker, and that match itself should be deciding, you know, who survives and who's going to be put down into 10th place, and that's the harsh bit. But again, if we have a Lausanne that's coming in a bit too cocky, you know, they might have celebrated a little bit too hard after this weekend, well, that gives Different the opportunity to really step up and take this week.
Well, it's going to be an interesting match for sure. Personally, I think Different is going to have a hard time, but maybe Lausanne is a bit worn out after that weekend. I mean, it's a LAN that was available for 4 days, 3 to 4 days. I think mentality plays a huge role, also exhaustion maybe. Palia, like we said before, you played on LAN. How do you feel mentally right now? Are you exhausted?
In the morning a bit, but I had all day free, so I could take a bit of sleep. I don't know if Lausanne had the same luck as me, prepared for it, but I think they have enough motivation from the weekend, and if they don't have that many sleep, it's not going to affect them too much today, I think.
Now, quick last question to you, Stroby. You just won a game. Lausanne won a LAN. Do you think it can give them the boost to continue their sweep right now?
Yeah, I think that that the win at Switzerland is a huge confidence booster for them, for sure. Something they really needed, probably, and maybe that is like a change of pace right now, where we suddenly see Lausanne popping off in every game.
All right, and with that being said, everything being said, we're handing over to our caster friends, Bacon and Jay. Guys, take it away.
Thanks, Trox. Yes, it's going to be an interesting match because, you know, the upsets can come from those unexpected places. We definitely didn't expect the Sur side to lose last week. We don't expect the Lausanne boys as well to lose in this week's matchup. Although, in the case of Different, it would be a massive, massive result if they could get that. In the grey half, they will be playing out of Lausanne and Blue Bacon. I expect nothing less than a 3-0, but I'll be curious to see whether they can make it happen.
Oh yeah, ditto right here. Lausanne should be taking this. They're on a massive high right now. Like I said, crowned kings of Switzerland for the time being. Different, who knows? Like the unofficial champions of Switzerland. Can we start this as like a new title? If Different could take that away today, that would be awesome. And you know I'm going to be singing every single praise for Different for every single goal they could possibly get. But hell, not getting that on in a bit too high. It does come away with a commiseration prize. A chicken on defense, that is clutch. Who knows what could happen today?
It's very, very fast from both sides. Different trying to contest on the pace game as well. Lausanne have got the first couple of shots in for the moment, and they are currently pressing forward here. Look at Kiva coming up, trying to set up Arku. Juju there with the final shot, but no. Taken away by Hell as they hold their own in the backline defensive. It's not going to quite work out towards a full-on goal just yet, but again, both teams playing to maximum pace, so expect this to be a manic opening game at the very least. Kiva coming up, beating out one player. Juju either dunk it down against Chicken. He'll be able to get that defensive together off that sideboard bounce. Arku comes up and over to the backboard. Nukes in of his own right, beating out Kiva up and off to the right-hand side of the net. Off to the corner, Arku, big miss of his own, that's a big open net. Nukes is going to score that, and Different will punish the big mistakes to open up the game.
What is happening right now? This is incredible, unprecedented scenes. Nukes in the right place at the right time. No one home from Lausanne. They probably got a little bit overconfident there, and Nukes punishes. 1 minute 20 into this, I was not expecting that goal to come on out, and Nukes trying to look for a second. Quick response from Different.
Ball out on Chicken's part of things, ball up against Kiva's own right to the backboard. It will be taken away. Arku again trying to set this up against Nukes coming forward off the corner play. Trying to beat out one. Juju, good challenge, a bit too high off the crossbar, and defensive held as they doink it out of the way. Still good balls coming in, they are on target. Defensive holding for the most part though. Finally Juju will tip it past that last player and get us to evens on the board.
Yeah, normality sort of restored their hail. Tried his hardest, but could only send it upwards. Nukes not getting there in time, and Juju just easily able to finish it off. Well, Jay, I say easily. Easy for him, right?
They can make it look very simple. 1-1 on the board. Lausanne for the moment, just pressing forward, looking for further shots out. Kiva can be denied by Nukes. Following suit here, off to the corner board. Chicken's going to try follow that back up. Puts it very close in front of the net. Hell will try follow suit. Chicken can't throw Juju off. He goes straight in for that defensive. Does not miss a beat. Arku back up against Kiva. Challenge back into Arku's position. A bit too far forward, so we've got to keep that ball in a dangerous angle. And the pressure is on for Lausanne. Different are doing a decent job on the offense.
Yeah, they're just being an absolute nuisance, continuously getting in the face of Lausanne, whilst also making sure that they're rotating for boost. They've got a little bit of space between themselves. You look at how Different go in and tackle a problem. It's generally just one man who's overextending, so the defense can cover it. You see Chicken is back here, and finally Juju has beaten out all three, so Kiva can step on in. But once again, with all this space, Nukes is safe in the backlines.
Hell off the backboard into Nukes next, puts it down in front. No one can take that shot. Juju and Kiva come up. Chicken will hold it off the sideboard. Flick back, barely gets the touch in. That allows Arku to turn it over once again. Beats out one of the defense. Is he going to solo carry that? No, a bit too far off angle. But Kiva swings forward and shoots to score, and score he will.
Yep, Arku doing some great work there, just moving the ball downfield. Defender pulled on out as clearly Arku had gone for the side. If he could have slotted away, he would have. But of course, not having the legs to catch up onto it quick enough. And so Kiva just gets out the old mop and bucket and cleans up afterwards. Brilliant little play coming out for Lawson, and we could see another, but it's too high!
Close from Arku, tried to get that touch in, and it would have been defended otherwise. But just as you mentioned, shooting a bit too high to the crossbar. No third goal allowed for Lawson for the moment. They are still keeping that pressure going, though. They've got Arku beaten out, actually. Kiva right behind him to control out. Arku going to try to get involved in the play. And Kiva gets bumped out the way for Juju to follow suit. Couldn't get the shot on. Chicken is there, save against both those shots. Ball sent out towards nobody. Finally, Arku will take some semblance of control out, but 60 seconds on the clock now. Arku to the sideboard. Chicken comes up, passing in field to Nukes, who can't get into position at time. Chicken still contesting against Kiva, will steal that 100 boost, but they should be able to find a clear out eventually, Lawson.
Yeah, once again, Chicken coming on in for the save there, and he has been phenomenal so far today, Jay. Really the strength of different, doing so much of that disturbance tactic, but also making some great saves and attacks. He's going to be needed again. Kiva, though, is starting to be a thorn in the side of different with all these reads. He's getting in to their ley lines. You know, he's somehow tapped into their communications and he knows what they're up to.
Backboard touches, very light and very passive, different, almost got it past the line regardless. They're going to be unable to do so though. Arku, look at this chase downfield. They're throwing out Nuke, Juju in position. Nuke's going to get in the way of Chicken's rotation as he respawns in the wrong place at the wrong time. Kiva dunking once again, Chicken in hell. Now back on a counter-attack. Chicken flicks it up, tries to beat out Arku. He has got Nukes on the side, but unable to get that touch in. It's very light, and Arku clears it downfield, disallowing anyone to take control. Chicken over into no man's land, and Lawson will let that ball touch the floor, get us into the opening game of the series. 2-1 in game one. Lawson with a nice opener.
It was indeed, but we have to remember different were the ones to get the opening goal there, Jay. So it feels more like a wake-up call from different onto Lawson, where Lawson, like we said, might have been a little bit overconfident from this past weekend in their results. So different coming out looking very strong today. They were prepared for this matchup, and that's only just making Lawson play even harder, and they're doing great here, but you can see they don't have a confident advantage over different, as different's playstyle just seems to hinder them a little bit.
Game one under wraps, game two underway, and look at Chicken.
Oh my God!
Chicken! Oh wow! Wow, that was ridiculous!
I'm so proud of the lad. Season after season, Chicken on these lower end teams shows what he's got on these solo plays. 6 seconds on in to the second game, and he is absolutely squawking. Kiva though with a response! Boy!
Oh my God! 2 solo plays back-to-back from opposite ends of the field. Incredible flicks from Chicken and Kiva. And that starts off this game in style. Wow. Wow, we are in for a ride, Bacon. Look at Chicken, he's going for it again. After the sideboard this time, Hell will try pass into the box. Next up is Nukes, and they work as a team to go 2-1 up in the game.
And this right here, Jay, is not only why we love Rocket League, but also the Swiss scene, the level, the amount these lads have grown since Season 1 is phenomenal.
Wow. That's all I can say at this stage, just wow.
Oh,
look at Arku's
Arku.
attack. It goes off the post. Follow-up from Juju is there. Fortunate enough as they get to evens once again. Lawson will not allow different to rue the day.
Blimey, that is lucky on the post bounce out. Arku did so well for that play, but can I just remind everyone at home, different bottom of the table, and this is what they can bring.
They press forward so much as well. Both teams playing at incredible pace in game one and here in game two. Not slowed down for a moment. Hell against Arku next. Chicken trying to find his way out. We'll find it relatively decent. Clear the dribble's not so fantastic. Juju up, Kiva to receive. Nukes gets there in the end and puts it out into the corner play now. Juju up, 12 points of boost. Has not got much to work with. Arku will still set up for Kiva next. And Chicken and Nukes trying to find their way back out. Have two to beat. Nuke should be able to get it past both of them. It's after that in the offensive where things are going to get dicey, and they will lose control of that ball, try and regain it, but all Lausanne players are challenging.
Nuke's getting a little bit high there, but it will keep control in favor of Different. Hell nearly getting that shot. Defense reading it so well. Both of these sides pushing each other to the limit. You can see they're having to get creative if they want a goal. With today's standard, if they do anything simple, it will get them nowhere.
A big fake there from Hell. Kiva thrown off for a moment, but Chicken could not get the challenge in as he just waits for that position. Big miss from the defensive. Arku just gets involved, and Nukes is not allowed to score. Hell will still set this in for Chicken. Every player baited out of the net, but Juju gets back in time. Now follows suit with the midfield. 100 boost, picked up dribble play incoming, looking for his own solo. And the solo plays are getting them so far. Lausanne still the lead.
Well, it's all about just capitalizing on the distance of your opponents. You saw there Chicken rotating on in, misread it a little bit, had to try and recover, and thus was a little bit too slow. Juju had brilliant control of that ball, I have to say. Chicken was fully expecting him to go for the top right of the net. What is Chicken doing here? He went in for the bump on Kiva, but unfortunately, it did not stick.
He gets back out of dodge here towards the defensive line. It is pushed wide by the Lausanne members. Nukes downfield, a big log boomer. Out in the midfield line, he'll still contest it. Kiva and Juju. Kiva tees this up, got Hell to beat, and he gets in. No, he doesn't. Chicken. Last line of defense comes in clutch. Juju still trying to set it up for a teammate. They are challenging, keeping them held back towards this net and corner positions. They're not going to be allowed to break out of their own half, but finally Chicken will intercept the ball set up by Arku. Juju up, can connect that touch, but just keep it out of the corner, keep it away from the net directly, but the offensive is spawning up. A clear needs to come through, and it looks like Arku will get one with a shot to the target.
The flow of this game is phenomenal. Both teams now playing into each other, rebounding balls left, right, and center, being able to make these long runs, almost taking it around the world. And we're on a journey here, Jay.
Chicken backed up, beats out one. Can't get its 100 boost from the corner, though. It looks like Juju still that way. Got to rely on his teammates instead to find that clear. Arku sets it up in center. Kiva, good touch, beaten out by Nukes. Follow-up from Juju's a bit too far wide. And now Chicken trying to take control of the ball side here off to that midfield. Nukes got to try and bump Kiva out of the way, but breaks away at the wrong moment. Still in midfield presence, Chicken can play this ball up here. Off that for Crease. Nukes beating out Arku for a moment. That sideboard bounce. And Juju in off the sideboard of his own right. Watch down, Chicken beat him out all the same. Nuke's gonna wrap back over as Kiva contests. 60 seconds left. And Lausanne again leading by only one. It can take a single play to turn the situation around for Different.
Oh, not a good double commit coming out from Different there. And you can see Kiva trying to punish. Not able to chase up onto that one, Jay, though. So Nukes gets it away. And it is all about minute mistakes here on this pitch. Again, with the spacing of these players, they do have a little bit of allowance, but you don't want to be double committing or leaving your team high and dry as you've gone downfield.
Bump attempts not successful on that last offensive play from Different. Ball out, Juju shot to the target. Throwing off the defensive just enough to get that one past the line. 4-2 now for Lausanne.
And it might seem to many people an open net, but Juju putting that up to the top left is pinpoint precision. You saw the man coming on in. If he had gone down straight to the center in net, like many players do go for, that would have been saved. It just shows the level these lads are playing at. And the desperation right here in the end. It's a kickoff goal. Straight and simple, Jay.
And that's going to seal the deal on game 2. Lausanne were contested so well right up until the end. What a game coming out. All the Steelers games coming out from different, honestly. Like, you know, if they go down 3-0, that would not change the, that would not tell the full story. Oh, Chicken close on the line, defended by the Lausanne side. If it had gone in, it wouldn't have meant much. It would have been a great play, though. And Nuke's not allowed his own goal of his own right. So 5-2 for game 2, 2-0 for Lausanne in this series. But the pressure did heat up, man. Like, different have come to play today.
And the problem for different is they've sort of come to play each week. I'll give the caveat of back during week 3 up against Sparks, where different were pretty much MIA. But each and every week, different have really put forward a great case themselves. You look back towards week 1, right, up against Sir, and going to OT against Sir, 3-1 in that series. Week 2 up against Coconuts, each game, bar the very last, where it is just done and dusted. 1-goal differentials. But again, 3-1. Like I said, the write-off of week 3. But it just comes down to, and I can keep going on, it's always the same story. Different just cannot get over that final hurdle. They've got the caliber to go head-to-head, nearly being able to take down the top teams. Well, the problem is, Jay, that nearly is not good enough.
Nearly over the line for Lausanne. Can they make it good enough right here? Well, they've got a great opportunity to do so. One more game to complete a second sweep of the day today. Hell and Kiva off each other for the kickoff. Chicken off that sideboard, off to the backboard, touching in, trying to go for another solo setup towards a goal. Won't be on angle to try and get the actual goal itself, so Juju and Kiva can counter-attack. But Chicken's still hunting for his way in. Now off the sideboard, push down inside that box. Juju will be able to beat him out on defense, just throw it off and make sure that nobody can follow suit with him. Arku in and out. Kiva set up for a shot. Chicken is the man defensive this time. And now goes in for a solo play. Doesn't quite beat Juju. That ball's still dangerous, though. Here comes passiveness. But they do get it out the dodge.
And Chicken actually goes and steals that boost. So Kiva here is running what he's conserved. The lad can always conserve a nice bit of boost. Look at his tank. Down bottom right, whenever he comes up, and you'll notice here, he's got 0, right? But he's just leaving himself in position. He'll pick up some small tank to be able to recover to 20, but he can always do so much with so little, and that's a massive strength for Lausanne compared to last season, where the younger players were always a little bit too over-ambitious, where Kiva has a nice little bit of conservative behavior about himself and can leave something in the tank so that they're not always at the edge of their thread.
Getting quite a lot of presence out here as a result. Kiva definitely being one of the main standout men for the Lausanne side. Now here with control as 2 to beat, beats them both. Hell going to rotate back out though. Chicken will come forward and put it out into the mid-center. Challenging against Juju. Arku comes up with awkward control at the moment here. Kiva's going to try to fake him out regardless. Shot comes in. Juju there to back it up. Reading that ball's path well, gets the first in for Lausanne.
Nice little play from Arku here. Kiva running disturbance, and then Juju to finish it off. This was a play, and you can see where it takes to dismantle different today is a 3-man play. If that didn't work out, the ball had been able to be run downfield to the opposite end. Different are playing all cylinders, but the problem is that, like we said before, Jay, they're going up against the Lausanne, who are currently the strongest we've ever seen from them. Damn, that's close.
That was shoddy. Barely held in the defense, had to wait for backup to come through a second earlier, and that would have been a goal in for the Lausanne side. Back it up to their own half now. It should be cleared away. Kiva is Juju to receive this. Bump players may throw Chicken off, but still does not amount to a goal here. Ball in from pass towards Chicken. Off to the backboard. Oh, actually, I feel like they would have bounced off the crossbar and gone behind the line. Shot from Hell. That's also going to be too far wide, but that still gets the ball in dangerous positions. Pass in field. Nuke's caught in rotation.
Oh, Nukes was not confident.
Juju gets back out of dodge. Keeps that ball in the grey half for the moment. It will be cleared out here, but a couple of really good attempts coming in from different.
Yeah, nice little respite right now for Different as they just throw that ball downfield and buy time for themselves. But how they're able to regain control of this ball is incredible. A little bit of a mistake, double commit as well. So Nukes, he's got to once again just throw this ball up in the air and allow time for his teammates to get back. They've been doing this so well, Different, right now. If they know they're in a bad situation, they're happy to throw the ball away because they know their opponents will take a little bit of time to get there. They're looking for open space brilliantly.
Chicken off to the corner. Nukes is there to tee it up for him. He will not be able to take that chance at a clear though. Kiva challenging one. Hell into the midfield. Juju will still bounce that out. 2 players to receive this, but Nukes takes his 1 position and clears onto a very open defensive line. Backboard play. That demo from Arku was everything. Hell was so ready to take that shot onto an open net. Now they return and counter, and Hell will get back to get the save in this time. Chicken fed up for the offensive, needs to get something going. Backboard play, in comes Hell, pinched away by Arku. Defensive held together, and still nothing comes through for Different. They could lose this by a goal margin again to send them home in this series. Chicken though, not quite against Arku.
Yeah, what a read from Arku there, just be able to get the save. This is a little bit nervy there. I was suspecting someone to get onto the ball, but here you go, Kiva with a run. And Hell, once again with these reads, his defense has been something else today, Jay.
Off the crossbar, that's tragic! And Hell coming in with a very long aerial, unable to shoot to score, is defended against. Arku trying to find his way out. Hell on the sidelines will come up, shoot that high. Nukes to the dunk down. Chance, he's a bit too far back. Got to throw that off to the side instead. And now Juju and Arku can counter attack. High backboard, demos in. Chicken will push that out. Juju again, tease it off the ceiling and backboard. Here comes Kiva, slips it underneath. 2-0 and Different are in danger.
I want to cry right now, Jay, because this is the type of series that I wish could go the whole way to Game 5, right? Because this is some phenomenal Rocket League. The problem is that we're currently sitting 2-0 to Lausanne, and I'm talking about the scoreline or the current series score. Both apply. I don't want it to end right now.
Man. Unfortunately, it will end. What an effort, though, from Different to take the fight to the Switzerland champions. I am stunned. I'm honestly stunned that that game came, that series came as close as it really did, Bacon, because, you know, Lausanne had Different dead to rights by all accounts. Everyone was like, this should be a simple 3-0, and it was a 3-0, but it was anything but simple, Bacon.
Yeah, it's that case of, sure, everyone got their prediction right, but did they really, though? Like, come on. Different, I think any other team today, bar maybe Edelweiss, Coconutters, if they're on form, would have dropped to Different there. And it just feels so unlucky. The best we have ever seen Different, and they just got swept. That is soul destroying.
It is indeed, but Lausanne were the expected victors, so how soul destroying it may well be is a question I'll have to answer in a little bit more this time. We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we might hear from one of the Lausanne players after this, so do not go anywhere. We've got more TCS eSports League action coming up after the break.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me? I need help. We had a crash. Yeah, he's awake, but he's in a lot of pain. And I don't know where we are.
It's okay. I have your location.
Please just hurry.
Don't worry, you're in safe hands.
Thank you. Thank you.
No matter where or when, real help is by your side.
I'm rich, got me on my body rich. Smelling like Versace rich. Drizzy and Beyonce rich. I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. Diamonds on my body rich. Smelling like Versace rich. Drizzy and Beyonce rich. I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. I'm rich. I'm rich. Diamonds on my body rich. Smelling like Versace rich. Drizzy and Beyonce rich. I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. I'm rich. I'm rich. Diamonds on my body rich. Smelling like Versace rich. Drizzy and Beyonce rich. I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. Diamonds on my body rich. Smelling like Versace rich. Drizzy and Beyonce rich. I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. I'm rich. Diamonds on my body rich. Smelling like Versace rich. Drizzy and Beyonce rich. I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. Say rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich.
Welcome back, guys, to the 6th match day of the TCS eSports League. We have just seen Different getting clean swept by Lausanne 3-0. But I have to say, Lausanne had to fight for it, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Lausanne had a fight there. I think it was really interesting to see because Different was able to put up a lot of pressure, and at the same time it was Lausanne that put up a lot of pressure. So it was really just like they met on equal terms. I think the play style wise, they both played very aggressive, challenged early, and you could see that. But I just think that there were some critical misses there on the Different side, and in the end, yeah, the result speaks for itself.
Anything to add, Paolo?
No, I'm the same opinion as Stroby, but to say Different, for me, they played their best game this week. I was impressed how they were performing, and yeah, I mean, they didn't deserve to lose 3-0, but yeah, maybe next week.
Well, yeah, next week probably it is one of the last chances. But I think we have an interview lined up with one of the winners of Lausanne, and who else but Arco here. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very good, had an insane weekend, and here now with a 3-0 win to start this week. So yeah, I'm feeling very good. Thanks for.
Well, it's probably not the start of your week, because yesterday you actually won Switzerland. Congratulations again. How do you feel about that, being the first team to secure a spot at the Invitational Masters?
Yeah, this is actually insane. The way that we win, like with all the loser bracket run, we're fighting so hard against every team, and yeah, the Sunday was just the best day for us. We had nothing to lose. We had to bracket reset Edelweiss to win. So yeah, it was so hard, but so happy with the performance. And TCS International is so something we wanted to play on. And we know that the TCS eSports League season is very, very hard to place first. So yeah, it was an incredible chance for us to get the slot here, and we did the job. So it was amazing.
Yeah, congratulations on my side as well for that. I have a more specific question about today's matchup against Different. From your point of view, how was it to play against Different? Because to me, it really seemed like sometimes they had you guys on the ropes.
Yeah, I mean, this is a bit weird to play against them, because there are 3 very speedy players to the challenge, and Chicken by far the most speedy and mechanically player in their team, and it's very hard to predict what they're going to do, because this is like a placement. They have placement issues on the field, and that's why they can't play at their top level every time, I think, because like during 30 seconds when they're well placed on the field, they're like so speedy and they can make insane stuffs, and it's hard to defend. But like the 30 seconds after, they're not in place, and we just do basic stuff to beat them. So if they can work on this, they can be a very, very good team in the division, like playing the playoff for sure. But yeah, it's, as I said, it's a bit weird. So we, after the first game and the 2 first goals we took in the second match, we just say to each other, it's about defense. If we just play as 3 the defense, we're sure they're gonna make a mistake before we're gonna make a mistake. So let's play, defense and basic stuff.
Okay, great to hear. Paola, you have another question.
Yeah. Also from my side, congratulations for the win on Switzerland yesterday. And my question is, did it affect something on your game style from being in Switzerland? I think you didn't get that much sleep than at home. Did you notice any difference than or your last games? Or yeah.
The biggest difference actually was in the mental, in the head, because with the start of season we were a bit losing confidence, and by taking part in Switzerland and being all 3 together all the weekend long, can discuss about some stuff in game by being in the same room, being close to each other. It helped us very, very much to have a better mental in game, where sometimes tilting or just stop communicating as we should do in game. And yeah, for this I think it's like an insane stuff to us via Switzerland. For sure we're all a bit tired, but it doesn't affect that much our game style today.
Well, one last question from me. Now, looking at the standings, you're at the 3-3 right now. Not the best standing, to be fair, but you said last season you finished third. This season you want to finish first. Does that still apply?
It's for sure still the plan. Like, as I said, we saw in Switzerland that we can face and beat every best team in the league play, even Edelweiss and Coconutters. For sure, there are insane teams that, on the paper, we're not better than them. But with the motivation and the communication, I'm sure we can take them. So yeah, the goal is still to be first. Season is long. Yeah, we started not that good, but the playoffs reset everything. So yeah, just keep winning in the league play now and focus on the playoff to be first at the end of the season.
Well, Arko, thank you very much for that interview. It was very cool to talk to you. Guys, we are looking at the next matchup now between Edelweiss and My Insanity. It's personally the match of the week for me because Edelweiss is coming from a loss in the Switzerland finals, and My Insanity wants to establish their footholding at the top. What do you think about the next matchup?
I think even though My Insanity, they look very strong, I think the addition of Psycho really did a big number for them because he's such a solid player. Playing against him also feels very pressuring because he's always there. I don't think Psycho is a player that excels at the mechanical aspect of Rocket League, but he just excels at like the positioning, the challenging, all the, let's say, basic stuff or whatever from like an opponent kind of view. And I think he's a great addition, but on the other hand, you have the addition of Luis on server Geneva, and he's just a monster. So yeah. Kind of favoring Servet.
Well, we'll take a quick break and be right back with you after this video. Well, that was quick, but we are back, and look who it is behind us. It's our lovely caster friends, Bacon and Jay. How are you guys after this match?
I mean, my voice has definitely had seen better days, let's put it that way. Certainly some intense moments in that one, and hopefully another one intense right here. I think this is one of your matches to highlight this week, Bacon, if I'm not mistaken.
I think this could be one of everyone's. I'm sorry, it's Edelweiss versus My Insanity. This is a great little rivalry between these two sides, and we expect even more high-quality gameplay. We've been really spoiled today, haven't we?
Well, spoiled we have, and like I said before, it's one of my highlights as well. Now, Struby, you talked about it a bit. Edelweiss is really dominating right now. I mean, they've lost a single game out of the 5 matches they played, but they have some of the strongest teams still against them, including your team.
Yes, of course.
Do you have a battle plan?
A battle plan? I mean, just win, right?
No, that is some Korean advice right there. I mean, couldn't have said it better. Just score more goals than the opponent. And
yeah,
win,
absolutely.
Right?
If you score more goals than the opponent, you win. It's as simple as that.
Well, yeah. Why don't we have a look at the current standings, actually, in front of that big screen behind me?
Oh, I was looking forward to that.
Now, Weatherman Trucks is back with updated standings. Edelweiss has still secured the top of the leaderboard, the sunny side, followed by Cocos and others. Team Sir, My Insanity, Lausanne, Vision Gaming, Arctic Gaming, Sparks, Lostic, and different eSports. Now, we've seen 2 sweeps today. Team Sir, Team Lausanne, and if it continues like this, we can see My Insanity sweep Edelweiss 3-0. It can happen, everything can happen in Rocket League. But My Insanity really has to get that win to keep close to the top. If they win, they go to 42. If they lose, they join Lausanne with 3-3. Everything can happen, as I said. But let's actually talk a bit about predictions for that match.
Ooh.
Struby, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think Servet is going to take this.
Edelweiss.
Edelweiss, sorry.
Happens.
I think Edelweiss is going to take this just because the caliber of players they have on their roster is so dominant. Like I said, dominant. There's just no other word for this team. Still, I do think that Mind Sanity has the potential to give them a hard time to take that win. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mind Sanity even takes a game or two. Absolutely not. I think that's possible. But yeah, I think Lewis has been playing out of his mind in this league. Safari and Mirrorwing, solid as ever. I think there's just no way you can stop this team right now.
Well, I tend to agree personally. I think Edelweiss is going to win, but Mind Sanity can put up a hard time. I predict a 3-2 for Edelweiss. But the question stands, can someone actually stop Safari from winning his 5th title in a row? He's the back-to-back TCS eSports champion. Well, Bacon J, do you think he can add a 5th trophy to the case?
I feel like that's probably a given at this stage, to be honest. He's definitely in this position where he's, definitely a part of the strongest team in the league right now. So, in the long term, you're expecting him to possibly go quite far in terms of, just the league standings. Whether he'll go undefeated is yet to be seen, though. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, whilst, as you mentioned, Lewis P is a great addition to the lineup. Yesterday they weren't playing with him, and today my understanding is that they're playing with Milox in place of Lewis P. So that's going to be a bit of a bit of a downgrade. Not to take anything away from Milox's part, but you take a look at Lewis. If Safari wasn't standing out as the main MVP for me, it was always Lewis having an absolutely fantastic game, and that was part of the winning element, I think, for Edelweiss. I'm
trying to think there. No, I'm pretty sure Lewis P is back on today, Jay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we saw Milox earlier play for Sir. By rules, he can't come over and play. Come on. Get your head in the game, buddy. I've got to call him out. We're not afraid of that, are we, on stream, guys? Come on, we know each other. We've been friends for, blimey, way too long. So we're happy to call each other out on those, aren't we, Trox?
Well, we are friends, like you said. We banter at each other all the time. Stroby, I mean, you know me. I know you. We had our times,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all in good spirits, at least between us. There are some other stories that shall not be named. I mean, come on, it's a competitive game. There are ups and downs. And, well, My Insanity actually has something to prove, in my opinion, that they can keep up with Edelweiss, because My Insanity has had a lot of roster changes over the seasons. And they always tried to get to the top, but they never really performed. In your opinion, Stroby, does it have any, reason?
Reason? I think constantly changing roster. I mean, I was part of the Mind Sanity roster as well. And I think a roster that is constantly changing, they may have that, that honeymoon phase at the beginning where everything goes good, but I think as soon as the first few hardships come into play, that's a different situation, and that's the point where a team either prevails or they go down the slope, basically, where just everything breaks out of hands. And yeah, maybe an attempt, it could be a good attempt to try and get the perfect match of 3 players in a team. But I think a more important factor is that fighting through all these hardships and actually forming a team is gonna, in the long term, produce much better results.
I tend to agree. And what about you, Jay? Do you have a remedy for the MRY curse, so to say?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because, probably the most obvious thing to go to is to stick together and try and get more consistent. But sometimes you can hit dead ends in that respect. So there is almost an element of trying to build in an upgrade. For My Insanity, I think that they got the potential to be a really top contender in Switzerland, and working towards that goal possibly is the main step for them. What they have to do to get to that point, a couple of questions in respect to that. I think they've got a really good element in Psycho, for example, even though he's not necessarily a Swiss individual. Teemo's known to be a particularly consistent element for this squad. You know, I think that there are... it's a lot more than just saying stick together and get consistent. Even though I think that would be a good first step, you know, there's a lot more nuance behind that argument for me. A nuance that I'm certainly not as intelligent enough to really articulate, per se, you know?
What about you, Bacon? Do you have the solution?
Well, I think Stroby's just hit the nail on the head. Basically, it's, and I'm going to call him out, it's Teemo's his passion, his drive to win. And he's sort of looking for that short-term remedy, which is basically non-existent. We all know with Rocket League, it takes seasons to grind to finally get to that goal. And the answer is stick together for another season. Stick with Stefaroy, stick with Psycho. And we've already seen them make slight little changes to look better this season. Now, do I think they're going to go on and win this season of TCS? Hell no. I don't think they are going to be able to even get to the finals, you know, the top two. But next season is a completely different answer right there. And it all comes down to them just putting the work in and trying to work together as a team. Because right now, when we see them on the pitch, their infield passes and, you know, actual proper strong team plays are still a little bit too far and few for my liking.
Well, yeah, Edelweiss still also have had a little change, although not on the Swiss level. They announced recently that they would basically cut off Sefer from their international roster, replacing him with other players to try out. Do you guys think it will have an impact on their performance in TCS? Stroby, what about you?
I'm not sure. Like if Mirror and Luis decide to part with Sefer for international plays or tournaments, I think it's reasonable if it's all communicated with the team. It's okay. And I don't I know Sefer. He's not the kind of character that goes like, okay, now I'm just gonna troll in every game. He's not that kind of player. He knows that he's still a well-respected player in the Swiss scene, in the European scene. And he's not the type to just go, okay, I don't care anymore. He wants to go back to back to back to back to make his Twitter bio as complicated as possible.
That certainly has a certain charm. Now, I've received word that our players are ready, and with that, I'm handing over to you, Bacon and Jay. Take it away for the next game.
Indeed we shall, and it turns out that yes, Lewis is going to be playing with Edelweiss in the server today, so expecting them to have a particularly good time on this one, Bacon. We've seen what he can do, we've seen what they've been able to do, and I think it's going to be all thumbs up and big moments all around here from Edelweiss. My Insanity can do some damage. I feel like that maybe in the early series they can get things going, but taking a game, taking a series, is going to be a difficult match.
Is indeed. The 3-2 prediction to Edelweiss earlier, I would say, is probably a bit bold. I reckon 3-1. And that's purely just because Edelweiss are so solid. You talk about them splitting up. I don't think it's hurt them at all there, Jay, as well, considering that they're playing with different players and learning other things to be able to take back to that national level. And even then, they haven't even, you know, shut down the possibility of teaming back together on the international level down the line. It's just all about trying new things and experimenting with Rocket League.
Wow, I do have my own individual arguments on that respect. If we were on the desk, I would entertain that, but we're well into game one at this stage, so I'll keep my trap shut. 40 seconds in. So far, it's been a bit back and forth with a couple of offenses being generated by both sides. Stefaroy with the latest. Taps onto the backboard. Psycho in. Stefaroy wrapping back over. Good control. Redirective chance. And Psycho gets close, but no cigar. Teemo coming forward off to the corner. And Lewis will try find his clear. Stefaroy trying to hold some sort of contention here in the blue half, but eventually Edelweiss will find their clears, their attacks over to the other side of the field. An infield pass which Psycho can't receive. So a little bit mispositioned in the early game from MYI.
Yeah, I would argue crazy calmness coming out from Edelweiss there. They looked in there unfazed when the ball was teetering on the edge. I don't know how to take that one, Jay. I know how to take this shot, though. What a banger from Psycho!
But blocked by Zafair, Mr. Four-Time himself. mentioned hunting for his 5th trophy, and if he can do it, which is actually a relatively likely affair, then obviously Edelweiss will go down in the annals of TCS history. Right now, they've got to get through their main opposition here in My Insanity. Offensive is starting to be generated here in the blue half, but it is countered in the end. MYI go back of that backboard mirror with a perfect ball to receive it. Psycho does get that challenge into fair with the shot, however. And the great challenge and attack play coming in from 2 individuals of the Edelweiss side. They get that first goal on the board.
Yeah, that initial pressure just being put on by Lewis P to set the ball in the middle, Safair with the block out, and then the follow through from Mirror. Brilliant little set piece from the lads, and they weren't in any troublesome situation because Lewis P got demoed, so he'd been back in defense as well. So weighing it up, seeing if it was risky, which it definitely was not, and Edelweiss going for the goal. You can see they're giving full respect over to My Insanity today while still looking good.
Mirror! That was the lightest touch of the shot I think I've ever seen. It just tipped it past that defensive. If it was a little bit closer, a bit more of an acute angle, that probably would have gone in. Hits the
what a
Mirror
passing
eventually
shot!
finds that shot, the pass in, the goal, the 2-0 for Edelweiss.
Damn, this is such a well-placed hit there from Lewis P to recover. It was a little bit too overextended, thus couldn't go for the shot himself, but to then call it out, shout to Mirror to get below him, and Mirror with that placement, it was incredible.
A shot from Lewis as well, barely defended by Psycho, who's got to put that one off wide. Bounce out into the center, miss from Psycho. Steph4 instead got to find that clear downfield, but it gives enough time for them to read what's going on here, get those challenges in. Timo set up for a goal here in front of the box, but no dice again for My Insanity. A lot of great offenses being built up, but unable to go past that final hurdle. Meanwhile, attack plays. Mirror gets himself upfield. Lewis shoots high. Both players going up for the dunk down. Both players miss as one player gets a touch in on Psycho. Now fed the ball to try and clear up into the midfield. Zafair will challenge him, and Timo is barely holding that defensive at the last line up the net. Lewis up again. Got to take that high. Psycho is there to defend against it. Timo pops it up for Steph4, and they're just trying to pass and clear back to the other end of the field at the moment. They do get an offensive generated, but that shot is way too high.
Yeah, looking at My Insanity as well. Oh, okay, Lewis. We'll have a look at you setting this up. But again, the defense from My Insanity coming on through so clutch, so together. This side really turning up this week, and I guess it just comes down to Edelweiss, their chief target, you know, Jay, where they're putting all their strength, all their preparation for this one series.
Well, over a minute to the clock here, and it's still 2-0 for Edelweiss. And My Insanity got to put in a little bit more, trying to get this opening game on the board, else Edelweiss set themselves up for another good sweep in this day today. Psycho, great ball control, sets it up for Steph4. He's too late to the marker, and now they counter. Mirror to beat Psycho. He will get a touch in, send that off to the corner, but Zafair sends it wide. Lewis can't receive a shot. Ball back up instead. Mirror comes forward off the backboard and the corner bounce. Timo will find Steph4 at the midfield line, passing back out towards Psycho, who is again a little bit late to receive. Good challenge on one player, sets it up. Steph4 way too far forward, they baited in the defensive, and Timo will strike to get one back for MYI.
Yeah, it is now brought this to a possibility. 23 seconds to get a goal. It's an opening for My Insanity to come on into this. But you do notice it was a little bit more of a sleeper move from Edelweiss. They just didn't really put their all into that defense there, Jay.
No, they did get baited. One player in particular went their way out, but the rest of the players just not quite feeling it at the moment. They still hold a lead, though. Look at the offensive from Mirror. Puts that off to the side instead of going for the dunk down 2-goal lead, which would essentially secure the game for them right now. But 3 seconds left. One final chance to attack. That ball is barely kept alive. Not there in time for Timo. Within inches of keeping it off the floor, but Edelweiss do land it to the bottom. 2-1 in this game, 1-0 in this series.
Yeah, but a scramble at the end for Edelweiss. Not looking incredibly confident. And one thing that we're not so used to seeing is Lewis P there at the bottom of the scoreboard for them. He's been I would argue, a little bit quiet. Sure, he got the setup for one of the goals, but normally we expect to see Lewis P with these massive solo dribble plays, whereas today he's been a little bit quiet on that aspect. So what's going on there?
Well, it's working for them either way. Always talk about Mirror and Zafair being the main wombo combo of this squad, so if they can perform well, then they'll be able to perform. Mirror already getting off the kickoff for a solo play. That does beat out one defender, but Timo's there to defend against it. Hold that off away from the other side corner. Zafair beaten. Psycho coming forward with a touch out. Lewis with barely a touch that keeps it high, but dangerous balls regardless coming in. Timo beats one. Zafair blocks it at the net once again. Last second rotations in from Edelweiss are successful at this defensive at the moment. A couple of clears are coming through. Midfield dominance dominated by the blue side players. And a pinch out that will go very, very far off kilter. The Timo still follows suit, beats out one. No further than just that one though. The continuous attacks coming in from Edelweiss will keep them suppressed in that back line.
It will indeed. Mind Santi are picking up a little bit of pace right here, and that's all they need to do to take it to Edelweiss. In the last game, you could see they were just slightly slower than their opponents. What a save from Psycho, though.
No goals yet, still past this first minute. Lewis coming up, trying to fake out Timo, he still gets a touch in. Challenges appropriately, and Stefaroy off that backboard. Psycho not able to receive. Mirror finds his way downfield. Psycho still takes it up, and Mirror will challenge him appropriately. No points of boost left. Stefaroy with a big miss. The fair still comes forward, and again, off that backboard, waterfalled it in front of the net. Got to get some backup coming in. Eventually, Lewis gets there, but it's too far forward. Mirror with the final strike, and Mirror with the first goal.
Yeah, good punishment, good positioning from Mirror there. Lewis P just straight up was originally going for the pass. Timo not able to put it across enough, and so it's in. You see the last man back in net, not able to do much, just a sitting duck basically there, Jay. But Mind Santi, we'll see, they could turn this around just yet.
Look at Lewis P though, going straight in with the offensive, continuing to press forward off to that white box affair. Up and out, Timo onto the blue side offensive. A couple of good setups will come out. The ball crossed once again. Demo in against Zafair. Stefaroy passes out to Psycho. Lewis takes it up. Mirror back downfield. Timo can take that once again off towards the corner play. Got to find Stefaroy as well as Mirror tries to challenge. Zafair wrapping back over. No boost left for him. He's got to get back to one of these with big pads or small pads in that corner. He'll have to challenge out. Beating 1 and 2. That shot gets registered, but it's still too far wide. Timo comes back on a counter attack once again. Got Stefaroy also going for an aerial shot, too wide, pushed out by one of the defensive elements. And Psycho also challenged before the midfield line. Timo bouncing up. Again, Psycho's going to try to get involved, but the clears are coming through from Edelweiss. Bit of a back and forth ball, however. Both sides held back to their back lines, and neither squad are able to score a goal back.
Yeah, you can see most of these goals are either going to come off mistakes, you know, that sort of surprise factor, or some incredibly well set up pieces. We're talking pass outs just wide of an opponent's reach, and brilliant positioning. Here's the surprise factor there, but Lewis P in defense, well positioned to recover on that.
Mirror feeding up to Lewis once again. Miss on his own part, actually. The demo in from Mirror will slow him down, but still sets up Zafair. What a recovery from Edelweiss. What a goal. 2-0 now. The domination is not quite as obvious as it might initially seem, but they're having a good time out there.
And again, when you're taking that shot, like I said earlier, most players just go for the center, but to get that width on the shot is incredible from Zafair there. If it was, you know, a couple of centimeters over towards the left, then Psycho had been able to go out and get onto it, but no. And what a fake that is!
Oh, the defensive just crumbles. Lewis sends it to Zafair. He got a one good touch, and Stefaroy was thrown so far off. Well played to Zaf, 3-0, and Edelweiss just keep this going. Might not look dominant in terms of raw gameplay, but on the scoreboard, it's about to get even worse. Lewis with his own shot, cross back again towards the box for Zafair, somehow finding the angle to make a slow shot work.
that last shot as well was just nuts, making it look as if he was going to come on in for a banger, you know, a point-blank 100km/h shot, but instead going for the bouncer is crazy here, getting dismantled in the air. That's an easy pickup for Stefaroy.
And finally, something going well here for the Mind Sanity camp. And still 3-1 for Edelweiss, though. A lot of work that needs to be done. Got Lewis and Timo, sideboard up. Stefaroy trying to get involved. The Psycho gets forced out of dodge. Mirror, sideboard bounce. Timo coming up, puts it in towards Psycho next. Good ball positioning and play around it here. Getting off towards the backboard in the corner, but Stefaroy feeding that right towards Affair now. He can take control alongside Mirror, who's in that midfield, and send it back over to the offensive line here. 60 seconds remaining. Still 2 goals to make up. There's a lot of work for Mind Sanity to do. They are starting to look pretty competent about it, but it's coming very, very late into the game here.
That pop, though, 2 straight to net. And so defense able to get away easily. Timo beaten by Lewis P, and that is a runaway to Mirror. So 30 seconds, you're right, Jay. It is going to take a Christmas miracle right now for Mind Sanity to turn this game 2 around.
It's good ball placement here from the Edelweiss camp. As Affair comes up here to feed it into Mirror, going too far wide of that shot. Still Lewis P controls in, so long as he can stall. He'll have enough in the tank for this one. One good shot, backboard touch. Mirror leaves it for Affair, puts that one past the line, and game 2 is going the way of Edelweiss.
Yeah, Mind Sanity just getting pulled left, right, and center here. Timo not able to climb it enough. Stefaroy tried his darndest, but Affair was so quick onto that ball, right in the box. 4 seconds left. I think we can call this to a close.
Yeah. Ball to hit the floor, go past the goal, doesn't matter at this stage, it's game over. Lewis couldn't quite get it past the line. That's tragic right there. You see how close that ball really was? Another inch past, that would have been a goal, but again, as I mentioned, it doesn't matter that much. It's going to be a game going the way of Edelweiss. Another 2-0 start in this series. It is Sweep City today, it seems, Bacon.
Yep, there's no stopping it, it seems. Everyone just wants to get through this LAN as quick as possible. I'm pretty sure the HeroFest guys are there going, you know, come on, you've got the whole night. You can go to game 5. It's fine. You don't have to rush this, lads.
I mean, I get an early dinner if it keeps going this way, so I'm not complaining.
Always thinking about yourself, Jay.
Of course, mate. Of course, mate.
Realistically, though, we have to say, Mind Sanity have really turned up today, and their biggest change is their pace whilst keeping defense. It has been really impressive compared to the last few weeks.
Oh, look at this ball placed up here by MII, unable to go for the goal, though. A couple of fast balls in, as you mentioned, that pacing. And both sides now really starting to pick up here for our, what may well be our final game of the series. Definitely the first match point game here for Edelweiss. And shots coming down from the heavens of Mirror will not connect Stefaroy's defensive holds. Affair still set up for a chance. Psycho's the man to take that away. Mirror challenging in against Timo. Timo's going to win out that duel and send it over to the corner now for Stefaroy to work off of. Lewis controls. And the way that Edelweiss are playing around this ball has just been consistently amazing so far this series. The touches, the predictions, the accuracy on where that ball's going to get landed, how they're going to react towards it. Still, Timo actually slipping past the defensive, though. No second player behind him to follow up.
Well, we know that this realistically is the difference between being one of the top teams of your nation compared to being one of the top teams in the whole of Europe. You know, you look at Edelweiss, RLCS, talent here. On the opposite end, Stefaroy, Timo, Psycho, you look at them and go, that's a team that could win Switzerland. And they got close, but it just comes down to, banger shots like that on the consistent from Safar and co.
Ball up, Stefaroy into the corner. Lewis comes up with control, trying to beat out Psycho. Takes that off towards the corners. Affair gets that 100 boost stolen away from his opposition. Mirror takes it high and off the ceiling crease. Pushed out into the sideboard. Stefaroy sees that off towards the box. Affair taking this one up. And again, off the backboard, Timo's going to be there to challenge against it. Mirror in, Lewis up, close range.
Oh, what a goal!
Tap. What a goal, Lewis! Straight from Spain, shots on for the first.
Oh boy, indeed it does rain in Spain. It rains goals. What an incredible play coming out from Lewis. This is why Edelweiss picked him up. This is why Safair and Mira went looking, and they have found an incredible talent.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal from him. Goal of the week contest potentially, but right now just got to get past this game. Sideboard, out and about, Lewis and Zafir contesting against each other, passing out towards Mira. A little bit miscoordinated there from Edelweiss. The ball off to the side into the box position, out of dodge. Stefaroy shot close, Mira will hold off against that defensive for the moment.
A little bit confusing there coming out from Edelweiss. They are only 1 goal up. It is a fragile lead for any team. They've got to be looking for a second, especially when Psycho's looking for a goal of his own. Nice little drag downfield.
Ball offside, Stefaroy going to look for Timo. Big miss for him. Mira's got a perfect opportunity. Just got Psycho to beat, but challenges directly into him. Off to that corner bounce, Lewis puts it offside, pass back in, Lewis to receive, Timo to block it regardless. Ball in, backboard, double commit on the defensive does come up. Lewis puts it back down in towards the corner to try and hold off the defensive. It's looking a bit shoddy from Edelweiss in the last minute or so. Look at the missed touches on the ball. Not nearly as clean as it has been so far this series, but still they come up with solo plays like that.
This, I think, Jay, is what they call the caster's curse. Edelweiss have looked a little bit shoddy in the last minute, and Safair pulls that off. Damn.
2-0. Held together for the Edelweiss squad still. Mira into the midfield will find his way back out. Ball up, Zafir. Shot close to target. Mira with a chance to dunk it down. He's going to take that out of field instead. And now Stefaroy to Psycho, not connecting that shot. That would have been a great goal if they found it, but now the missed touches are coming in for the My Insanity side. 1:10, 2-0. The end is nigh for MYI.
It is indeed. With only 1 minute left, you got to get going. Oh, right now, My Insanity clearly expecting the shot to come on through from Safair, but where it is left, Stefaroy just got baited.
Three goals in a little over 60 seconds. I've seen it done before, but with the way they're playing right now, MYI are going to still have a tough task regardless, a task that may not be possible. Ball in for Timo off towards that corner. Mira trying to wrap back over. No boost left for him. We'll push it out towards that box. Oh, close off the crossbar. Safair with a dunk down. Takes that wide instead towards Mira. Stefaroy will clear.
Wide open net.
Chance available with an open net, as you mentioned. Shot coming through, finally. Something comes out, but that opening goal for MYI has come in very, very late.
You've got to question it right now. Was that Edelweiss just full sending with full confidence? Or was that truly a mistake? It don't matter either way. With 34 seconds, My Insanity can bring it back, but it's going to take their full strength right now.
30 seconds, ball in, Timo beaten to the corner. Mira comes up, challenges one. Away of Psycho, ball in for Timo. Lewis is going to get beaten out. Two players miss out the touches. Stefaroy, she puts that one close towards the box. Psycho coming in very, very late, and he gets out of dodge. Lewis now with a carry back downfield, in with the ball dribble, unable to get the touch in for the shot. Not like it matters. His team are still 2 in the lead, and with the final 2 seconds ticking by, it's game, set, and match for Edelweiss. 3-1 in game 3, 3-0 in this series. Our third sweep of the day, Bacon. And I honestly felt like My Insanity should have had a bit more contest in that one.
Yeah, you could definitely see My Insanity should have got at least a game in that. I wholeheartedly believe that they played well enough to get 2, but here 3-0 just shows the Swiss powerhouse that is Edelweiss and what they can put down. Mind Sanity, I've noticed them playing all across Europe in so many different tournaments. They're trying their darndest to learn, grow as a team. But this is the problem. This is the true benchmark of greatness, Edelweiss in front of them.
And Edelweiss will smack them back into reality. Mind Sanity unable to get the win. Edelweiss remain undefeated at the top end of the table, as we kind of expected. But even so, in sweep fashion, it definitely looked confident with Lewis P, of course, being one of the standout players. Honestly, everything went right for them in that matchup, and everything goes right for us here in the TCS Esports. We're going to another break, and when we come back, we should hear from Zafar, of course, and we'll also hear from our analysts over on the desk. Stick with us after this break.
Hello? Hello, do you hear me? I need help. We had a crash. Yeah, he's awake, but he's in a lot of pain. And I don't know where we are.
It's okay. I have your location.
Please just hurry.
Don't worry, you're in safe hands.
Thank you. Thank you.
No matter where or when, real help is by your side.
have awakened the gods of old. We rise from our slumber to reveal our true power. Focus fire.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 6th match day of the TCS eSports League, live from the HeroFest in Bern. And Stroby, we just saw another sweep.
Yeah, like it just keeps happening tonight, right?
Yeah, I mean, Edelweiss swept MIY with 3-0, continuing their dominant run in the league. But I've heard we had an interview partner coming up right now from Edelweiss.
Looking forward to that.
Now, joining us right now behind us is Sefer. Hey Sefer, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing very good. How about you guys?
Well, fantastic here from this venue. Stroby, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I can spend time next to trucks. There isn't anything better.
Now, Sefer, congratulations on your win today. But my first question, obviously, is the elephant in the room. What happened yesterday at Switzerland?
Well, basically, Lausanne was a better team in the end. Like, we didn't feel as confident as usual, I would say. Like, Milox coming in as a substitute as well, it kind of, like, the rotation was a bit different. We could not really fully play our game. Lausanne came in strong. They got the speed, they got the rotation very clean, and they just got us off guard and came back at us in the finals and won the games. But they played very strong, I have to say.
Yeah, but let's just go to the series today where you played My Insanity in a pretty dominant performance as well. I mean, they had a chance to score 1 goal. I think there was 1 goal for My Insanity and all the others just for Server Geneva. How was playing today? Easily asked.
It was actually really great because it felt really confident because we always had someone staying back. Like, there was not that much pressure on our side, or if they were pressuring us, we either got a big clear or got a control play and played it around 1 or 2. Like, we didn't feel that much pressure from My Insanity coming, so it was a bit easier for us to play our game, play our pace we want to, and just when you don't get scored on, it's quite, like, I wouldn't say easy, but it's easier to win the game because you score 1 or 2 goals and that's the game.
Yep, but just it's interesting because for me, My Insanity was always the team in the league that had like the most potent offensive pressure in terms of demos, bumps, infield passes and stuff. And that's really something you couldn't see from them today, or you didn't see at all. Just like Sefer said, from like a spectator's kind of view, they really seemed like they weren't able to create the kind of play they usually do.
Well, looking... sorry, you go ahead.
Yes?
Yeah, you go ahead, Sefer. Anything to add to that statement? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I was supposed to say, Timo actually was coming for a lot of bumps whenever I was in the goal, and he was like 3rd man coming up, or like 1st man, like left the ball for the 2nd man, tried to come for a bump or a demo in the goal, but luckily we could just dodge them, so I guess that kind of messed him up a bit. I don't know.
Well, looking at the standings right now, you're sitting at a pretty comfortable 6-0 with a single game lost across all the matches. But you have a few hard matchups coming up. Are you confident that you can keep that record for you?
I am actually quite confident. Like, the way we played today, it felt really great. I don't know, it wasn't really scary, and we get a quite confident win now as well, which also boosts our confidence. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the next challenges.
Anything more to ask?
I think there is that one team they're gonna play.
Yeah, of course, we can't forget.
I mean, Team Sir, I think, right?
Yeah, don't have that one player.
Yeah, they have that one player who's completely insane.
Yeah, it's not a German one. No, it's
no, it's
Stroby?
Yeah, Stroby, I think.
Stroby, what is your opinion on Stroby?
Yeah, he's insane.
What about you, Safer? Do you think you can take on Stroby?
Well, Stroby's a very good player. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, just like I said, you see.
We have to be scared of him, and yeah, it's like I'm really looking forward because like even like if Stroby wins, I would be very happy for him as well. So like there is no lose in this series.
Yeah, jokes aside, I'm really looking forward to that series as well.
Well, with that being said, thank you for the interview, Safer. We are gonna go on and look at the next match upcoming, which is Lostic against Coconutters.
Ooh.
Now, Stroby, can you talk about us real quick about that matchup?
Yeah, I have some experience with Lostic. Some experience.
What about that?
We've played them just recently, I think.
How did that go?
Yeah, it was, you know...
Still a blur?
Yeah, it's still a blur. I don't remember correctly, but yeah, jokes aside. I mean, they were able to take us on. They were able to reverse sweep us. They were able to win against us in Game 5, even in regulation. And I think, obviously, we weren't on point that day, but they had their game plan. They had their game plan, and they executed this strategy to perfection, because really, we were on the edge in that match. And I think Coconutters are offensively a very potent team. But if, like, let's say Lostic's still gonna play the same tactic where they go like, okay, we try to put all the pressure in offense, try to score a goal, and after that we just sit in defense. I mean, that's just... Coconutters will have the space, any team would have the space in that situation, and then it's just a matter of how well are they able to defend. And they were able to do so last week. We're gonna see how they are able to pull that off this week, so...
Yeah, well, we'll be talking about parking the bus, so to say.
Parking the bus, yeah.
Parking the bus after this short video.
The rush you feel when you score a goal, the frustration of losing, and the joy of winning. This is the essence of the TCS eSports League.
Placing 7th the last season didn't really feel too great because we barely missed the playoffs. This season, we're even more motivated to make that final jump and finally reach the playoffs.
Last season, I said we're gonna win this league, and we ended 3rd. This time, we're gonna win for sure.
The teams in Switzerland are getting better and better, so it's becoming a bigger challenge to win the whole TCS eSports League.
After all those underwhelming seasons, I feel like this is my year.
Last season, we made a lower bracket run to place 2nd. This season, we're going to make an upper bracket run to place 1st.
And history will repeat itself for the 4th time in TCS history. Your champions of Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, and now Season 4 will be the Fairs-led, the veteran Eva eSports. Fair puts it past the line. Oh my God, what a play!
Welcome back, Stroby. I have this slight feeling that we are not alone right now.
Yeah, something is creeping up.
Like right behind us?
Yeah, probably. Oh God.
Yeah, I can feel it. Staring at us from behind, laughing. Oh, welcome back,
Beautiful
Bacon and Shay.
segue, Trucks. Beautiful segue.
Oh dear. Oh man.
Yeah,
Yes,
just like-
we're back.
Yeah, on the
We're
side.
back. How you doing?
Something that our viewers can't see, but like during the matches, we see those two commentating the match, and that's just 100% passion going on there. Even though nobody is watching them, they're just like as if they were playing themselves. Yeah.
It's what makes us world
No,
class,
that's
you know.
not.
Yeah. Just got to keep your fingers warm. That's it. You know that's all
Oh,
it is,
there we
guys.
go.
It's amazing to see these two guys cast the way they do because it
Yeah.
adds a lot of passion to their voices. But before we move on, let's have a look at the weather, or as I say it, the standings right now behind me. Let's replace those creepy guys with the bracket, the standings. At the top, shining right on my beautiful forehead, we have Edelweiss at the sunny side. And you know, Edelweiss usually grows from until September, but they keep growing and growing and growing 6-0. I mean, that's just pure dominance. Now, the Coconutters coming up next in the matchup against Lostic, who are at the opposite end of the standings here. 5-0, they have a chance to, well, keep the tail there. Team Sir, Lausanne, My Insanity, all creeping up slowly. Now, Vision Gaming and Arctic, as well as Sparks, Lostic, and Different aren't out yet. There's still a few matches to be played. But seeing the weather in the last few matches, there's a trend. There's a 0-3, 0-3, 3-0. Now Lostic against Coconutters. Personally, honestly, it's another 0-3. What do you think, Struby?
Another 0-3. Well, if I like. Why are you laughing? Oh God.
Don't tell him, Trox, don't tell him. He's not allowed to know.
What?
It's okay.
It's okay?
Go on.
Yeah, like if I'd say, yeah, it's going to be a 3-0, and they won against us, so it would like technically be Coconutters, bigger Lostic, bigger Sir. And that's not true at all.
No, it isn't.
So Lostic is going to take this.
You think?
Yeah.
What makes you so sure?
Just because I want it like this. So I can feel better about myself.
I mean, maybe you shall have it, as we have Paelia here in the booth trying to, well, make your wish come true.
Go on!
Now, Bacon, do you share the sentiment of Stroby here?
I'm just getting like very strong. He wants to present a new product vibes from Stroby, and I have to share that right now. Looking at him, you can't say no to Stroby. He's just always right. And so far, his analysis has been absolutely banging today, Trox.
I mean, I can agree. I mean, I love doing analysis with Stroby here. But Jay, do you think Lostic is going to continue their miracle run?
I mean, I don't know if you could call it a run just yet. It is only their first result from last week. Although I will say that it is certainly, you know, it certainly is one of those things where, you know, you can't rely on it consistently until they replicate those results for a second time. So for me, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, you know, like, if they can do it after this, then yeah, I'll have a bit more faith in the Lostic camp. But I'm not sure how much of last week's result is purely down to their own skills, or whether how much that was down to, unfortunately, Sir, having a bit of a choke towards the end of that series.
Well, it's entirely that. Come on.
He's right there on the desk.
I'm not saying
Stroby
anything.
knows he's bad. Come on, Stroby, give an excuse to last week's performance. That's what we all want to know, really. Come on. And there's your answer.
Look, the answer, Stroby, is I hope you checked your PayPal account.
Yeah, absolutely. We got that.
We got that
sorted
okay,
out. Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry for going a bit off script here, but looking at the stats actually puts Coconutters a lot in front of Lostic here. And personally, as much as I'm part of Lostic, Coconutters got this with another 3-0 sweep. But yeah, Jay, let's talk about the players of Coconutters. Do you have anyone standing out there that really makes the difference?
I mean, the Coconutters have always been a very different sort of squad, you know, definitely, you know, not players that you would have expected initially to come forward and be powerful top contenders. Certainly not the players initially that you would have expected to be, you know, to be undefeated in the season right now. For me, the guy that's made the difference in this one, however, has been Zedo. Like, he's just been such an incredible force. Ever since those grand finals especially, it really stood out to me how capable he really is. And it almost gives me, it's also a bit of a shame that I feel like that he's not competing at, like, you know, the RLCS level anymore, because like, I think honestly he has quite a lot of talent behind him. You know, whether he'll be able to contest at that level is you know, a very different sort of standard to Swiss Rocket League. But for me, like, you know, he's in this context, in this team, he's definitely been one of the difference makers for me in Coconutters.
Now,
well, Jay, sorry, I'm going to cut in there. You talk about Zedo, and he is still trying to play at that level. The problem is that he's just not been able to do it. You look internationally, he's currently playing for Game Up. On the Swiss scene, though, he's playing in a much more stable environment, it feels like, with both Classic and Texo. And we've heard it before that, you know, they're trying to use the scene as a way. And if they do get to the International Masters, then that's their opportunity to try internationally. But right now, you know, they're currently signed internationally to other teams and they're trying to, you know, work out there. When you look at it right here, the big difference for me, Jay, is actually Texo. He has been such a concrete core. You've got Classic as well, who's absolutely popping off. But for me, it comes down to Texo just being that solid rock for both Zedo and Classic to work off. Sure, they're fantastic players and they're getting, you know, job done. They're getting tons of goal. But Texo is what this entire team revolves around.
Now, on the other side, you have Lustig, Stroby, anyone, well, catching your eye there, apart from Paleo.
Yeah, apart from Paleo, sitting just right there. Now, their newest addition, I don't know how to pronounce it. Their new player, Prith?
Prith, something like that.
Is it called
yes.
Prith? Okay.
I mean, let me just add up on that. They had a completely different roster coming in to the
that was like, that would have been a nightmare to play against.
A better roster, right, Trox?
Of course, they had a better roster. I'm not going to name any names myself. Certain players were obviously carried into this league. Certain players had to be swapped out because they were overperforming so much.
Yeah.
It would just have been unfair for the competition. But
missing hairlines and stuff.
back to the English, the other English import actually.
No, Prith.
Yes.
I think he brings something to the Lustig roster that they didn't possess before with Italy, and that's just raw speed and aggression. He's really the guy, and he is just like that offensive powerhouse, that guy you're always like, okay, where is he right now? Is he behind me? Is he there? Is he there? Just like that constant stress level for their opponents.
Yeah, now Jay, Lustig has that certain tactic that they really displayed last week, calling parking the bus. I mean, can you explain that to our viewers?
Okay, so. Oh man, I'm trying to find a good analogy for this. Basically, it's when you just play passive and just don't score because you've already got a lead, so you could just run the timer out and win. Essentially, that's what parking the bus is. The analogy comes from literally imagine putting a bus in the net. So that way they can't score because the bus is so big that it covers the entire net. That's basically what you're doing with the defensive line. And it's a viable tactic. Not sure whether I like it, but it worked last week. So if they can get a lead above them right here, then I think that they might have another good chance to post that up and potentially get quite far with the parking the bus strategy.
I mean, it has its validity right here, as we could see last week. But there's also a view into the future, as Lustig, as I said before, is sitting really uncomfortable down there with 1 to 4. I mean, personally expected it to be at a place of different right now. It's 0 to 5, but memes are dreams, and dreams come true. And we all had a good laugh at that, didn't we, Sroby? Or did you cry into your bed at night?
Yeah, there was like a situation where like I was under the cold shower and like thinking about life, other options than Rocket League. But it's all fine right now. It's all fine right now.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because all that negativity is just not positive enough for us. But players are ready. I hope the casters are too. Bacon and Jay, take it away.
We're always ready. Yes, we will take it away indeed. Lustig in red, Coconutters in grey for this matchup. And hopefully no more false starts this time in this one, Bacon. Definitely looking at Lustig to try and sharpen this one. But again, another staunch task ahead of them. One of the top teams in the league, still undefeated on that Coconutters side. This will be another massive upset if Lustig can pull it off.
It definitely would be, and when you look into that, the lads are attributing a lot to Prith there. Destra as well has been absolutely fantastic. We saw Paella pop off last week as well. So Lustig definitely got a lot of power, a lot of battle buses as well. Talk about parking the bus earlier. Who knows, maybe there are hidden strats, or I guess not so hidden if they're literally shown it to everyone.
I mean, maybe they could literally park the bus and get a win there. I mean, a hell of a way to win. Game one.
The Battle Bus is a good car. The new Merc hitbox, which has been changed in the most recent free-to-play update, is actually pretty darn good and strong.
Oh, what else is strong though? It's Texo's shot directly from the midfield line, taken out of the hands of Prith and straight towards the net. 30 seconds in, that's a start for the Coconutters.
Yeah, you can see the doors on Destro's car there at the back swinging open, but he can't swing his car around to get the save. Great opening and pretty much standard, I would argue, from the Coconutters. Good save from Destro there, though.
Good hold off in the back lines. Prith and Paella holding the defensive. Texo still going in with decent chances towards the goal. Classic in off that corner, challenging in against Prith, part of things. Destro beating out the midfield once again. That's a shot close from Classic, but a bit too slow. So Prith can hold the defensive and try to find his way back out. Zedo on target. Texo in, pushed out into the center line. Classic on target, taken away by Paella. Followed around here by Zedo off that backboard. Classic in with a dunk down chance. Sets it up for a teammate. Paella's going to beat them all to the ball, so no chance for Zedo in this one. Backing up a little bit, being relatively quiet in the early minute, but still getting involved in the team passing plays and the offensive nature that has not allowed them to leave the red half so far.
Yeah, and I'm looking at what's going on with Coconuts right now. There's a lot of whiffs, weird shots coming on through. But, again, they're keeping this pressure going. It's not hurt them. So it just seems to be a little bit more of a warm-up game. That, though... Oh, no! Zedo going too early!
Taps onto it, sends it wide. A clear is allowed. Prith, in fact, with a shot. Paella's right there. There's no one in the defense. Such massive commitments there from Coconutters as they make the mistake of going way too far forward.
They do indeed, and Paella just waiting downfield, able to easily pick up. You could see Prith as well was there. So big mistakes coming out from Coconuts, who just do not seem to be on form this week.
Okay, well, a bit overzealous in this early game.
What was going on there between Zedo and Classic?
Caught off in that corner. Classic does get a touch out of the midfield, eventually turning it into the box here. Destro still trying to contest. Zedo up alongside Texo again, trying to make their way up into the red backboard. Paella beaten out. Destro comes in with a tee off, and Prith will find his way into the other side corner. Classic is there to take control, trying to beat out Destro. Big fake off that backboard, but it's still turned away as no second Coconutters players can follow suit with a center-up ball. No cross, no pass, no shots, and no goals here. Still squared at evens at the halftime marker. Yeah,
and the response coming through from Destro there. Good lineup looking for the corner. You can see it's really pulling Coconuts into question. Today, they're just not looking strong. They're not looking solid. Here, though, Classic trying it, but just wide of the ball. Very uncharacteristic.
Very off-kilter here. Ball's in for Classic. We'll center that one up towards the box. Paella's going to take that away. Texo moves up. He's going to play that one inside the box. Double commit on the pinch away. He does manage to find that clear, though. Classic can return it to that corner, but there's no second Coconutters player there to try and punish it into a shot. They will be able to defend. A clear missed out by Prith. Paella still centers that one up. Zedo now with control as two players to challenge him. Sideboard bounce, pushed out in towards the corner. And Texo, 68 points off the ceiling, back into the midfield. Paella with a beat out. Not a lot of boost there for him when they get beaten up by Classic instead. Passing in center. No third player. Again, they're just too far back here for Coconutters. It feels like they've gone from one extreme to the other here.
It really does. It is incredible right now. Oh, what a touch from Classic to keep that going. But yeah, it almost feels like, I don't know, Stroby has gone and given his curse on over to the Coconutters. Who knows? Maybe he's in the background. I'm assuming receiving a hug or something after the serious roast from Trox there. But just near enough, doing some witchcraft, you know, voodoo magic to transfer it on over the Coconuts this week.
Well, Paella was on the desk. Maybe he's got some of that transfer of bad luck at the moment. Or good luck, I guess you could say. Texo up, tee off, could not get that one at the zero angle. We have to rely on Zedo to come forward. Demos in as Prith turns that over to the sideboard. Classic passes in, and Zedo to Texo. Texo touching on the ball, but lets it go way too far out of his control. Zedo up for a receiver. We're going to pass that off wide towards Classic, getting off that sideboard onto the backboard. Destro misses. Classic tries to get involved with the second touch, but goes underneath it instead. Texo second touch off that corner. Destro again just going to sit in that position. Classic sets it up directly in front of the net, but no player in center to go for the shot. Again and again, all these opportunities being opened up by Coconutters, but no player to finish the job. Texo with a shot cleared away by Destro. Zedo held back in the back lines. Will keep this in the midfield for the moment, but with 5 seconds to the clock, unless they get a last second goal right here, it looks like we'll be on for our first overtime, I believe. And there it is. OT in game 1 between Lostic and Coconutters.
Yeah, and so big opportunity here for Lostic, especially with Destro nearly running it all the way to net. Zedo does well to pick that up once again. Weiler off to the side. So yeah, Lostic, who knows? They did damage last week. Can they do it this week as well?
Not as of right now. Ball being played out on the defensive as they are pushed to the back foot for the moment. Classic with an interception. Sets that up for Texo, coming in very, very quickly, but the ball is slow. And that denies the real goal here from the Coconut side. Zedo's going to try for a solo play. We've seen him play these before and make them successful, but in this one, it's going to go way too far wide. No redirective chance on towards that net. Paella and Classic challenging Destro and Prith in and outside of that box will try find their way out. Zedo, 100 points of boost, can only get a challenge in. No sub for a goal. Returned by Prith to Destro next up. Challenged by Texo. Paella's there for backup. Puts that off to the corner. Doesn't go for a shot.
Yeah, and I guess in that situation it's quite wise, to be honest. Oh, that though! What a play to finish it.
And finally, the communication comes together for Zedo and Classic, just waiting and baiting and just finding that one angle, slipping it past the two defenders. And scoring the deciding goal for Coconutters. 2-1 in this game now, taking the first of the series, Bacon.
Indeed, and it feels like it's all gone just right. You're hoping right now that that is the switch that turns Coconutters back on, where they can just set all wrongs aside. So we're just going to get a quick little lobby remake on in at the request of the players. I think Coconutters not feeling too happy with this. They might have been experiencing a little bit of lags. That would be a suitable answer, I'd say, Jay, for their performance in this game.
I don't know if it's suitable per se, but definitely a reason given as to why they might not have,
a believable excuse, then, we'll say.
Excuses. Well, obviously, if they continue to underperform in game 2, then at that point, it will not be an excuse whatsoever. We're going to be working on getting that lobby to get set up very, very quickly. We can jump straight back in with game 2 of this matchup. But, yes, very down to the wire there. But honestly, I feel like it was more down to the mistakes being made by Coconutters than Lostic really being the powerhouses that we expected them to be today.
Yeah, definitely. And Lostic have actually played a very passive game, and it's worked well for them. Waiting for the ball to come to them and then keeping a hold of it. It's a big change up for this side. It's only got them so far, though. Like, it's not a strategy which I think will win against the Coconutters. It's one that's going to get them games, potentially. But who knows, as we hop on to game number 2, and hopefully a Coconutters that are looking already fired up, Jay.
And already pressing forward here into the offensive line. Destro going to leave that for Piello as they get their own offensive set up here for the Lostic camp. Zedo and Texo snapping back over off to that sideboard. Flick up, takes that high. Classic in off the back ball, going to get pushed out of field once again. Texo centers it up. No Zedo to receive it, though. He does get there in the end, challenge into that corner. Pass it back up to the midfield, though. Challenged by 2 players, and Piello's going to get that out. Very dangerous position, but Classic will beat them to the ball. Starting to notice some patterns in, though, Bacon. Yeah, the problems seem to be all down to the fact that the setups are good, but the follow-ups are not. There's no sort of like final connection to the shot itself. A couple of solo players will get close like Texo did, but the defensive holds for the most part. And past this first minute, there will be no goals.
Yeah, you're definitely right there. No follow-ups on these attacks. No one getting in deep, and a very passive Coconut. You look at Zedo just right there in the back lines. Normally, he's up and jumping at them, so don't really know what is going on this week for them to change their plan. It's not hurting them per se. Like, you look at them, you think they're more, stable on defense, even though generally their defense came from a lot of rushes across net and a lot of clutch saves, but it's not something that's necessarily going to cost them a game, it's just going to cost them goals, right?
Well, no goals costed so far. A couple of good shots coming in from Texo, though. There with his second shot of the game. Both of them being played very close. Crossbar or lower. Another good opportunity. Will set up Texo this time. And the stone cold opener comes out from the Coconutters.
And what we really wanted from the Coconuts to change up, send a man in deep. Not only Zedo there, but Texo as well. Classic should have been safe to be back on the defense, and that's more like it. It might have just been a case, Jay, that Coconuts needed to warm up, and here they are, firing on all cylinders. What a transition play! What a goal!
And now they get started here. Coconutters eventually going to find their way onto a 2-0. And Lustig now going to start to get shut out unless they can turn it around. They've got 3 minutes to do so, but so far today, when we've seen advantages go the way of one squad, it's usually stayed there. Look at that kickoff, just going too far wide. Playella had everything to start evening up the scoreboard, but turned away by the backboard instead.
So, only 2 minutes on into this and a 2-goal lead, but can the Coconutters extend it further? Or will the lads of Lustig be able to turn this around? They've got to do it quickly, I feel, Jay. Otherwise, it could start snowballing out of the way. Zedo not being able to connect with that is a good omen for Lustig. They need to run with it. This very passive defense just means that they can get this clearance like this right now, but they need Payala constantly to follow up onto it and connect with each other even more. But what a drag away from the defense this is for Zedo.
Oh, that's unreal. Watch this passing play. And then Zedo to close it out with an incredible aerial dribble. Unbelievable. Coconutters. That third to their board. The coordination is coming out in little bursts here, Bacon. Sometimes they're looking a little bit touch and go, as you mentioned, a bit passive-aggressive. Definitely not park the bus style. Definitely not straight up shoot and pressure. But when they look good, damn do they look good. And that's case in point right there. 3-0, trying to make it 4. Denied this time by Pref as Texo's dunk does not end up to the back of the net. But they're 3-0 up with 2 minutes to the clock.
So many oddities right there. Like, we saw Classic deep when he had no reason to be, but it doesn't hurt them because their passing to each other is absolutely top tier. Good little idea there from Prif to get 50-50, but his teammates behind need to be quicker with the cleanup. Otherwise, they're just handing it over to Coconutters in midfield, who keep this attack going. Lustig are under so much pressure.
And pressure starting to mount for them. It's not the end of the world. Obviously, they'll be on reverse sweep status if they lose this game here. But ideally, they want to evade that match point from the Coconutters side. And they're continuing to shoot a bit high again with the solo plays. The Texo going off the backboard and sent away from the net rather than directly on target. All up from Destro. Zedo making his way back out, tee up. And control out. Zedo trying to find a player behind him or in front of him, a clear opportunity with 60 seconds left on the clock. Ball in, Prith will shoot high and wide, and now Zedo in with control, has 2 players to beat, and they're both going to commit at the perfect moment. Classic sends that wide though. It won't affect much, they're still 3-0 in the lead, but that could have been an easy fourth. Eventually connected, not quite from Destro's save.
Desho coming in clutch there, but the problem is that Lustig need goals right now. 30 seconds left, 10 seconds, a goal. They've got to go all out, and you can see Destro trying it with the dunk attempt, but he does not come on through. Ball just being put out wide, and that's nice maneuvers coming from Prif using full width, but unfortunately, Coconutters are relentless.
They lost control of the defensive, that double commit, the perfect angle for that ball as well. And that will be a 4-0 at 15 seconds left to the clock. And most likely, this game too going the way of the Coconutters camp. I mean, it'll take a miracle to turn it away this ball. I think it might just be statistically impossible. As this game is over, this series is now going to be on match point for the favourites in this one. Ball not quite killed to the floor. It's close though. Zedo Just going to leave that one open, but finally Destro's going to leave that one going. No, one more goal. They'll defend against it. Okay, so they evade the 5-0 at the very least, but in the end, it will still be 2-0 in this series. One more game for Coconuts to complete their sweep and keep us in Sweep City.
Yeah, good fun with rule 1 there at the end. Keep the ball up as long as you can, but can the guys see that on stream? I'm waiting for it to come on through. Yeah, they can. Lost it, calling for the reverse sweep. You know what? I dare them. Let's do it. I'm pretty sure, though, Jay, they're going to need all the help from Twitch chat, aren't they? All that energy sent their way, because for most, this would seem like an impossible task. But let's back Lostic. Let's see. Can they do it? Can they start a reverse sweep here in Game 3?
Well, here we go. 5 minutes on the clock, desperate times on the Lostic camp, and look at the plays coming through already. Classic redirective touch. Zedo trying to get himself involved in this early offensive play. That does not work out for them. Paella and Texo contesting ball out into the midfield. Big miss from Paella though. Wrap around from Prefers. Classic pinches it up and out. Zedo getting involved. Prith will try and back pass that on towards the next player. Classic will just keep it inside that midfield control. Zedo will get that 100 boost leader for Texo next up. And a bit more contest being held here by the Lostic camp, but it still is being pressed into their own half. They're unable to burst now. They're unable to get a good offensive measure. Meanwhile, shot after shot is coming through from the Coconuts side.
Yeah, and that 50-50 from Classic is absolutely killer. The follow-up shot almost as well. It always feels like Coconutters can get a goal from anywhere.
But not gonna go in this time. Look at the tee off from Texo. Back in.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
What? What? That was... How last minute do you have to get that passing play together? I can't believe they just scored that.
What a play. So I called the lads small brain gamers before we started because Zedo kicked our lobby off early, you know, causing us to be held up a little bit of a delay. Zedo might have the small brain, but Texo and Classic there are 200 IQ. That was insane.
That came so far out of left field as well. Like,
yeah.
I'm kind of a little bit stunned.
I said it, they can get a goal from anywhere. What?
Wow. And now it starts to crumble. The Coconutters back with their confidence. 2 very quick goals to go 2-0 up. At 3-3-2 on the clock. At least a couple of balls going over towards the grey half, but there's just not enough here for this side. There's not enough for the Lostic boys to work off of, not enough to turn over to a decent goal or two. A couple of offenses being set up. Finally, a clear, a shot. No one in net this time for Coconutters as Lostic score one back.
Yeah. Such a feel-good moment there for Lostic, especially Destro. They can see right after that Coconutters are still human. They are not immortals. They do bleed, and they just bled twice. Both times from Destro. A quick 1-2 punch. Zedo's left the lobby.
I think... Has he disconnected or something? I don't know what's going on there. He's back. No, he's back. It's fine. It's fine. Well, that was definitely a good kickoff. I'll give you that. We take those. But Classic wants to take it back. And immediately they get responded upon here by the Coconutters side.
Yeah, during all that madness, Zedo with the miss. But Classic can recover the situation, getting a quick goal in response from Coconutters. So 3-2. And they're looking for another so quickly.
If only that shot was accurate, it'd be a very quick goal coming out. Zedo and Texo still playing in with each other. 3 players on the right-hand side of the net. Ball in, centered up. Here comes Zedo, off the post. There goes Texo, off to the right. Texo. No goal in for this one. Classic up off the crossbar. Again, Zedo gonna try wrap around. Paella will take this into the midfield and try and set up the counter-attack. The defensive will be able to hold this time at the half-time marker. No third goal back for Lostic. They are going to try their hands at keeping the pressure, but Texo's got other ideas alongside Zero. Where's Classic? Nowhere to be seen. And again, they've committed so far forward to allow an open net for Destro to score on again. A hat trick for this man. We're even squared.
I don't want to be the one to say I told you so, but who was the player I highlight before all this happened? Admittedly, I will shout out, that was largely on the pass, setting on up, throwing it downfield. But, wow, Priv, what a banger.
Lostic are starting to warm up here. Now they're starting to look on, and again, a crucial game for them to hold it as well. Need to reverse sweep again if they want to take an upset here, and against Coconutters, that would be the most stellar way to continue their start of the season. Last week against this week against this side would just be an incredible moment. But for now, they are just playing up in the offensive, unable to strike. Zeto instead just dribbles that ball, gets a lot of momentum behind a good shot of his own right. Texo trying to get involved outside of that box. Classic will set it up for Texo, no third player. Zeto's right back for boost. We'll still play it inside that box, register a shot to target, but no goal, very slow. Destro can defend against it. Good challenge from one. Paella finds us clear.
Yeah, good slowdown there from Destro, allowed time for his teammates to get some boost because they were hurting. But now, once again, Coconuts look to have full control and attack, and there is Classic to hit the nail on the head.
Eventually, pull out the right tactic. If you can't get past the defensive, take the ball right up to the line and score from there. 4-3, Coconutters back in the lead once again, and a little over, I should say, a minute. And again, it starts to fall apart for Lostic. Coconutters springing back into life. 2 massive goals to take if they want to bring this back to evens.
Coconutters looking to diminish the light of hope that Lostic have right now. 2 goals in 1 minute 10 is doable. But you bet that Coconutters will want to keep full control of this. Not allow anything through, but they don't have a choice because here comes Priv.
What is with these open nets? Classic got the touch in the stall for time, missed out the second one. Where's his teammates? All on the way back, and what's going on here? Coconutters again making mistakes, getting complacent, and now we're back within 1. And 1 minute to go to try and turn it around here for Lostic to get us to evens. It'll be a 10-goal game if they're not careful. Texo, Classic playing around each other here at the midfield, trying to get the offensive reset back up to reinstate that 2-goal lead.
Zeto didn't read that correct, so he's had to slow it and take it wide. Good cutting from Priv. Nearly. This is so enticing.
It's not enough though. Still off target, back into the red half, off that corner play. Prith into the center. Paella's got 1 to beat. Texo swings in at the right moment to take away the opportunity for even the shot, let alone the goal. Zeto and Classic pinching this ball out. Destro will take that high. 15 seconds left. 1 goal's all they need. Destro chasing this up. He's got Prith to his left-hand side. 1 player into position. Oh, he's done it! Prith's done it! What's a clutch! And what's a goal!
F's in chat to thank the bus driver. Destro delivered it to Priv, and he was able to send it to net. 5-all. Lostic, it could be happening.
Overtime on the table. Zeto comes out towards the corner and the backboard. It's killed to the floor. And OT is reality as Lostic fight for survival in this series. Look at Classic off the kickoff though. Immediately in, wasting no time for the Coconuts. No! And they shut it down. 11 goals deep, 6-5 in game 3. And a 3-0 series completes the sweep here for the Coconutters above Lostic.
What a series. Once again, a sweep. We can't avoid them today, Jay. But again, another sweep, which was still an absolute banger of a series. Lostic coming close, And again, this is another problem of them, just like with different close. But close is not good enough. They're not going to be able to take a game today, but they can hold their heads high because they played so well. It's to the point, look at Destro. Over 1,000 points. He was the real MVP. Classic will get the trophy, but Destro was the real MVP of that last game.
Absolutely, like insane stuff from the Lostic camp. They've looked better and better as the weeks have gone on. Really hitting a fever pitch in this one. It's just a shame it was against one of the top teams in the league, because honestly, I feel like that performance against any other squad would have potentially netted them another good victory out on this one. So for Lostic, again, with this position being where they're at, you know, still being at the lower end of the table, still being near that bottom two, it's still going to be tough for them to sort of climb back out and try and make playoffs and try, you know, evade the relegations. Although I will admit, I do think the Coconuts probably look the weakest this week, as they have done this entire season.
Yeah, definitely. You look at it there, 6 goals from, and I'm just trying to calculate in my head, 19 shots. That is not a conversion ratio you realistically want if you're the Coconuts. On the opposite end, Lostic were able to get 5 from 7. So just take that into account. The conversion ratio, Lostic made good on all their chances, basically.
But they will not be able to make good on the series when, again, it's Coconuts with a big victory, so we'll get to hear from them after this very short break, so don't go anywhere. The TCS eSports League will roll on after this.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me? I need help. We had a crash. Yeah, he's awake, but he's in a lot of pain. And I don't know where we are.
It's okay. I have your location.
Please just hurry.
Don't worry, you're in safe hands.
Thank you. Thank you.
No matter where or when, real help is by your side.
I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. Say rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. Say rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. I'm rich, I'm rich.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 6th match day of TCS eSports League. We just saw another sweep, and look who's back. Hi, Ilya.
Hello, hello.
I mean, how did that feel after last week?
Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't expecting a second surprise today.
For the tears.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's okay. I know how you feel from last week. No, to be honest, I wasn't expecting a win today. Coconuts are one of the best teams in the league with Edelweiss. I was just hoping maybe to take a game. It was a bit close at the end. And yeah, it didn't work out. It's a bit sad, but next week maybe.
Well, we have one of the players of Coconuts joining us today. And who might it be? At the big screen behind us.
Not Nukes, no.
Not Nukes, no. It's Texo! How are you? Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now, how are you feeling after the win?
I'm feeling good. It's at some parts, at some games, it got closer than I would have liked it to be. But overall, we're still happy with the results. 3-0.
Now, looking at Lustig's performance last week, what did go through your head after that 5th goal they scored in the 3rd game? Did you have, I don't want to say flashbacks, but flash futures, what might have happened?
I don't really have the 5th goal in my eyes. Oh yeah, it was with like 4 seconds left.
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously, I wasn't enjoying the moments, but I had to go through it because obviously that was my fault. I lost the 50 really hard there. Yeah, I was just thinking forward. Let's maybe try to get a 0-second goal, or just not concede one before OT at least.
Now I have also a question for you. First of all, congrats for the win. And I heard from Destro that you talked with him about playing with the Fortnite boss today. And JP, Pride and Destro play with it, but I was missing on your side. The boss were, why didn't you choose the card to play with?
At the end, I don't know, didn't feel really comfortable. But on the other hand, I have to ask you, where was your boss, Pela?
I had my preset prepared for that moment. I was waiting for you if you all will have the boss, but then I see after the first game that you didn't choose it, so I decided to stay with my Octane.
Yeah, absolutely. Apart from that, looking at the standings, you guys are now behind Edelweiss, and that's just because of round difference. How do you feel about the current standing of the season for you guys, the Coconutters? Are you happy so far?
Yeah, I'd say not trying to sound any arrogance. We are expecting at top 2 at least in this season. We just really see Edelweiss as the biggest threat in the league, and I think probably the biggest threat to everyone in this league. So I'd say if we can take on Edelweiss, we can take on anyone. And we managed to do it last season, sort of.
Sort of. Well, yeah. Last questions from me. You said this year you're gonna make an upper bracket run to win it all. Are you still feeling confident?
Of course, yeah. And it's gonna happen.
Well, with that being said, thank you very much, Texo, for the interview, and good luck in your upcoming matches.
Thank you.
Now, looking at today's last matchup, we have another maybe close game. I mean, yeah. The other match results didn't really paint the same picture, but we have Sparks eSports against Vision Gaming Pick Vegas. Guys, quick rundown of the matchup. Any favorites?
I think like this particular matchup, Vision Gaming against Sparks eSports, is on one hand very interesting because they're both runner-ups. They both come from like the qualification process, and on the other hand, I think it's for today's matchup, it's probably like skill-wise the closest. Skill-wise, I would still favor Vision Gaming just because of Sapphics going absolutely ham during some matches. But I also have a big respect for Sparks just because of like their raw mechanical capabilities.
All right. Well, we'll be taking a closer look at the two teams right after this video. Well, back we are, and joining us once again with their big eyes, big heads, creeping in from behind, our lovely casters, Digital Bacon and the Eternal Jai. Guys, how did you feel in that matchup?
I felt pretty good actually. It was quite an interesting little affair because, like, honestly, I didn't expect it to go quite as close as it did. And again, it was fitting into this theme of just 3-0s every day. But just some of those 3-0s seem to be the closest matches ever, essentially. That, like, I don't even know if they're worthy of the 3-0 moniker, you know?
Well, do you tend to agree, Bacon?
Yeah, definitely. When you look at that, like, it is one of those series which shouldn't have been a 3-0. Like, you feel bad for the lads there for dropping it. Like, Lostic deserved for all their efforts a game at least. I think at the end of the day, yes, Coconuts were the stronger side, but they deserve to get one in there. And you were hoping right at the end. We saw Twitch chat all behind Lostic, and like it was pointed out, Lostic really won the hearts of everyone, where you look at Twitch chat and there was so much support for the lads. The underdog dream was real.
Well, Lostic indeed has a great community that backs them up, but if we have a look at the standings with our weatherman, that might actually change their view. Let's change it. Now, I was handed this nice pointer here to help me reach to the top, because Edelweiss indeed is blowing at the top from the mountain with a 6-0 lead, 17 games won, just a 1 game loss. But Stormfront Coconutters closing in right behind them. Now Team Sir, Lausanne, My Insanity and Vision Gaming are creeping in behind, but for Arctic, Spark, Lostic and Different, the weather isn't looking good.
Oh, we love you, Trox, so much.
Oh, okay, let me take a breather here. What have I done? Arctic Team Sir, let's look at the past match results from today. Arctic Gaming 0-3 to Team Sir. Different 0-3 to Team Lausanne. Edelweiss beat My Insanity 3-0, and Lostic lost closely with 0-3 against Coconutters. Sparks against Vision Gaming, though, in my opinion, should have a different result. Don't you agree, Paella?
Yeah, I expect some close games now from Vision and from Sparks. I don't know. I mean, Vision lost. I think they lost their last 2 or 3 games in a row now.
I think, yes.
Yeah, and I just think they want to change that now today. But I don't know. If they win the first game, I think they have a lot of confidence. Also, yeah, with Safix carrying. If they win their first game, I think it's going to the favor of Vision Gaming. But if not, I just see them panicking also in the second and third game, and then it's going to be a close series, I guess.
Well, let's look a bit at Vision Gaming, because they're the only team so far that took a game of Edelweiss eSports. Do you think that would give them a bit of backwind, so to say, Stroby?
I'm not sure, because I think that win was on the first match day, in the very first match, right?
Yes.
I think that was the very first game of Season 5, TCS. And you could say it was like, okay, we have that, it's the same old story, we go into a match, we play. And I think for Edelweiss, it was probably a bit like, okay, let's play these guys, we don't really know them, what to expect, and they just like, there was Safix, there was Stocky, there was Couch, just bruising in, and they probably didn't really calculate in so much pressure. And so, yeah, they're standing there and losing that match. But I think that losing that one match doesn't really change the fact, as for me personally, it doesn't really give Vision Gaming that much more to say so.
Yeah, I tend to agree, yeah. Now, Bacon, looking at Vision Gaming, is there any player that really stands out to you?
And yeah, naturally there always is a player that stands out on most sides, and we've been shouting his name all season long. Safix has been an incredible asset, akin to Zedo over onto the Coconut side, but realistically for me, the one to really step up this season and give, you know, Vision Gaming their opportunities is going to be the core of the team, and that's Karataj. He's really impressed me each and every season where he's able to take his mechanical skill. We already know mentally he's strong. We've seen him, you know, reach finals beforehand within TCS. So him being at that core whilst also stepping up to the same level of his 2 absolutely outstanding teammates, like we got to just say Stocky as well, a past RLCS OG and RLRS there. Safix, a new up-and-coming talent coming in from Denmark. And Karataj has to meet that level. If he didn't, Vision Gaming would be nowhere near where they are today. And that's why Vision Gaming coming on in, for me, are a safe pick to make top 6. And Karataj is leading that squad well.
Well, Tatash is indeed a player who has always been put a bit on the side, sorry. Paella, you actually were in a team with him once. Do you think he was being slept on?
From time to time, I say yes. I mean, not all the time, to be fair. He performed a lot of games, he can play really good. But I think he just needs that confidence in a team just to perform. I don't know. Now I think the last games, yes, a bit. But I hope that he can perform today and just step up.
Well, the matchup is between 2 teams who are at the bottom half of the table, I have to say. And the loser obviously will have a hard time actually securing their spot in the league. But we have Sparks eSports on the other hand. The opponent of Vision Gaming today. Jay, same question again, basically. Is there a player that stands out for Sparks to you?
I wouldn't say there's a specific individual. I mean, like, you know, Bacon's obviously done his little nudgy where he says basically everybody's fantastic, which he just does that in a very long-winded way. But for me, though, I genuinely believe that's the case. You know, we've had a couple of individual plays from like Swixel and Skyle, which have really stood up. You know, you could probably go as a safe pick of Keeb. Obviously, he's been playing previous iterations of the league. I don't know if he's in server today. I know that he's, you know, I know that Swim is officially registered as the official starter. But for Sparks in general, like I feel like that their current position as a whole is kind of weighed down by the fact that they're not really as experienced as the opposition of the Vision Gaming side is, and no level of individual prowess, no level of highlight MVP is going to be able to take that away. You know, they're going to have to work really hard, I think, as a squad, most importantly, in order to get over that hurdle.
Now, before we hand over to the game, quick predictions. Stroby.
3-1 Sparks.
Ilya.
3-1 Vision.
Bacon.
Oh, it's got to be 3-1.
Look, too many
Vision.
words. Quick precision, yeah. Quick prediction. Less words, Bacon, less words.
3-1 Vision, go!
And Jay.
3-1 Vision.
Well, I have to agree, and with that, back to you guys. Take it away.
Last series of the day, yes, and all aboard the Vision hype train, it seems, to the majority of us here on the Talent Team Bacon, and for good reason as well. These teams are taking each other on in the past. Last time, Sparks were only able to take a single game away from Vision, and today, well, they may end up becoming in a similar sort of scenario here. As it's best of 5 this time, away from the promotion tournament. Let's see whether Vision Gaming can dominate like they did back then. It's game 1 of our final series of the night. Of course, Vision Gaming will be in the red side, Sparks in grey. As we get off towards the midfield already, it's going to be touch and go from Skyor and Co. Squixel in a dunk down to take this inside of that box position. Keeve's going to try and focus fire against Kara first. And bounce back from Skyor, comes in, Stocky shoots to score, and it will be pushed a little bit too far wide by the defensive line, but ball still played up very close here as the boys in red continue to press forward, but pushed away by Sparks in the early game. They've got a good beat on how they're going to play this one out.
Yeah, the only thing that can be going in favor of Sparks currently right now is that they made it to 4th place, Jay, in Switzerland. They were the lowest, however, of the TCS team, so maybe they've got that good vibe coming in after this weekend. We'll have to see, as this game has been pretty much so far very 50-50.
Good playoff towards the corner here from the Sparks side. One of the defensive pretty effectively for the moment, but still a little bit awkward. Passes in between Stocky and Kara, look close, but unable to go straight for it. Safix will pass back in towards the next player of Kara. Good shot, registered Skyor defense against that. Safix can't quite find his goal out here just yet. He's lacking in boost numbers, so he's going to get forced back to the defensive. So make their way up. Squixel pass in off the crossbar, play up against Skyor next, and Kara shoots on target. Good interception from Safix. Got to need his teammate to come forward, however, as that was a back pass. And he kept that going for only the moment. No opportunities to score back on that setup.
Yeah, but... oh no, that's criminal! Kara's going to be able to get the goal, but the defender just not reading it right.
That's upsetting. That's very upsetting. That's a clear that should be saved every day, but there's so mispositioned on the Sparks side. As you mentioned, the defender reading is so incorrectly coming out of that net, so the opening start does go the way of Vision Gaming. And Safix back over towards the midfield line, ball set up inside that box, still going in for a shot. We'll control it off to the right-hand side of the net. Ball in for Stocky as he places this one up high. Skyor back down. Stocky's got control into the midfield line. A ball off that sideboard, bounce, pays it in. Good touch from his second teammate, but it's thrown off by the defender, so no on-target shots, no centered up lines. Here comes the ball in, denied. Next by Skyor.
Already some good pressure being laid on down here by Vision Game in that midfield. Under their control until Stocky made a very interesting choice there, just to try and keep it to himself, go for his second attempt. And this breakaway is just purely off the back of that, where rotations have gone very wonky. But you can see again, Stocky back in net, no one really fussed or phased by it. Vision Gaming just have so much width to their play right now. Their rotations strong enough, and they're pretty much untouchable.
Nice challenge there from one of the Sparks players. Kara coming up, pushing it in. Next up, Receival going to get denied in this one. Kiev to get the defensive together, however, Safix's shot is not going to be registered as a goal. It's blocked at the line. Ball off that sideboard, bounce back in. Stocky will take that off and out. Skyor puts it back down. 15 points of boost to flick out should allow Safix to find a clear, and he'll tee that one up and off towards the corner, being missed again by Squixel, but no one's chasing down the same line as Stocky was. Bats up now as Safix and Kara do make their way into the defensive. Stocky also caught in a rotation in the back line to hold the defensive again, and Safix trying to find a dribble play out of this one. Outside of that first goal, it's been very, very quiet here from Vision Gaming.
It has indeed, and that's all coming down to a lot of solo plays coming out from Vision Gaming, or that's what they're aiming for here. Leaves them a little bit stronger on the defense. Notice Caro, the only one to chase up onto that. Afterwards, no one really there to pick up onto it, and so it means you got someone back in defense that needed Zafix there. So are they just playing the long con? Are they fully respecting their opponents, knowing that their head, one goal is enough to win, and they're just going to, as we said earlier, park the bus?
Well, right now they are held back to that back line, but the bus is still not effectively parked. If you park the bus, you're basically just held to the defensive. You're not really going to, you know, play anything major and fancy in terms of clears. What a save from Keith, by the way. A couple of shots are coming through for Vision Gaming for the moment. Stocky backed up, Zafix beaten. Here comes Kara. Also into the center line, 30 seconds as Kiev sets it up now for a shot. Blocked again. Kiev going to try and take control, tease this up. Kara comes in with a decent play to the backboard. Stocky in the air, going for the redirection in towards Zafix. Sets up his star to shine.
But you can again see this is all natural chemistry because Kara did jump here. So it's just Stocky going up because he wants to go for the pass and he knows Zafix will be there. So it's weird. When you look at Vision Gaming, they're not communicating 100%. But it's just their natural play style. They link up really nicely together.
Challenge up, ball in off the backboard. Should be denied by the defensive. Does look a little bit suspect for the moment, though. Squixor actually can turn that one in. 12 seconds to a single goal lead. Can they pull this back?
Yeah, I'm looking at that right there. Zafix definitely looking a little bit sus. Who knows, maybe an imposter. Because Stocky had such a good clear on that. Why do you go for that double commit, lads?
Well, they will be able to kick things off on the right foot here when the kickoff comes through. Squixor coming up forward with an opening touchdown. Needs to get the dribble play. Skyer will clear downfield. That's going to bounce off the crease, but it will also roll to the floor. And Vision Gaming will have themselves the opening game of this series. A good effort there to turn it in from the Sparks side, but not enough in the end to turn this game to evens.
So, looking at that entire game, there is easy answers for me right here, Jay. I said it before, Vision Gaming's communication is pretty lackluster. They're just naturally really good players. Today you can see a lot of double commits coming out from them. So Sparks, go demos. Just go ham on your opponents. Because as soon as Vision are thrown completely out of whack, their rotations all over the place, there'll be massive openings for Sparks to shoot upon. So if they can pull that out, it'd be fantastic to see them really give Vision a reason to talk to each other because they need to fix that massive problem right now.
Well, game two, and it has looked sus, as you mentioned, from both sides. Track down the imposters here in our second round, if you will. 5 minutes to the clock, and an all-important match point for Vision Gaming if they can get it. Squixor off to the corner, bounce out of the box, turned away by Stocky. Sideboard bounce in, taken up by Skyor high into the midfield. Kara comes up, big miss from one player. That's ball still played off to the backboard though. Squixor taking control, holding the defensive, at least holding the majority of it. There's no real boost for him though. Skyor making it into Kiev's next position. Stocky can turn it around off that sideboard bounce. No boost for him though. Kiev continues to challenge, trying to find a way out alongside Squixor, also out to this corner. A lot more boost for him this time. Been a bit of a boost-starved game in the early game, though.
And that bounce out Kiev with a banger of a hit. No, Skyor was so close to being able to capitalize on it. The attack's coming on through. Squixor needs a good back pass here, and Kiev does deliver. So everything controlled by Sparks. Just need to get that shot accuracy on.
Ball left out towards that corner. Kiev comes up, has Stocky to beat him, bounce out, and again, second touch will take it back into the midfield. Squixor blocked, ball teed up. Kara comes in to play this off the sideboard. Once again, 100 points of boost can get picked up, and that ball played inland, but outside of the box. Kiev following suit, beaten out by the next player. Squixor in and off that backboard. Kara going to try and find a way out, leaves it for Sparks, who teased that one very far downfield. But again, no shots being generated, no offensive. It's back and forth, clear for both Sparks and Vision Gaming. Stocky will challenge that one individual. Be out a second as well. Carrying this forward quite far with no boost. Can't get control as he picks up that 100 at the midfield line. Squix allowed a dunk down chance, which he takes high, and Zafix can find a clear out. Still shots being peppered, however, from the Sparks side.
The thing that makes Safik such an incredible player is his decision making and just how quickly he does it. It's almost like he's not thinking, he just does. You know, he is more machine than man. And it just means that he can move around the pitch at a lightning fast pace. Again though, communication. He was going in for that ball and Stocky had it. So it's just, you've got to be questioning that right now. And that's the only thing that's holding Vision back from dominating this.
Only one shot, or two shots actually registered by Kara so far in this one. Vision Gaming have had a serious problem getting into that opposing half. And again, getting up into the offensive line. Further shots out from the right-hand side. Skyo coming in to bounce out into the center. Almost a fantastic play, but Safix gets in the way at the back line. And now tries to follow suit off of Stocky's clear dribble. Kara in the back, going to try and rotate back out position. Will find that ball in the end, try to set up the offense. Kiev will play it center. Receiver from a teammate, faked out that ball so slow that Stocky will find this clear. Returning to the grey half. Bounce out again, here comes Savix dunk down, here comes Stocky center line, but Kiev blocks that.
Kiev!
Kara is not going to go in.
Kiev is an absolute tank there, a brick wall in the net, and once again coming on in alongside Squixel. He wants nothing getting past there, so he makes that final save and gets it on out. A massive credit to him.
Efficiency of play is also starting to really get worse and worse for the Vision Gaming side. Two players committing on that last defensive line. Finally a shot from Stocky, not followed up this time. Wasting boost to get back out of rotation. Safix will find a reposition, but there's Squixel with a tee off back over to the red box. Stocky will clear off the backboard, in against the next, beats them both. And finally, Vision Gaming draw first blood.
Stocky, like you said, using boost to go back. It all comes down. Skyle would have been into the boost, but it's so hard to read that bounce out with all the pace. It's more impossible than likely, you know? And so having that opportunity to drop it down, it's all because Stocky had baited out the team. They thought they're able to do it for a moment, but then he's just played them like a fiddle. It's a big brain play from Stocky.
Ball up, chance for Stocky to dunk it down. No, pushed out by one of the defensive players. Safix will still come up here with a minute to go to the clock. Plays one off the backboard, trying to get a teammate in to try and score something, but it is turned away. Out from that corner, Stocky will challenge, beating 100 points of boost taken out. Safix will come forward. Squixel will tee this into the center line, and Kara will find his way out of field. Skyor back down, solo carrying this ball in against Safix is part of things. Now over to Kara as he gets beaten out by Squixel next. Safix can return. Kara to receive this ball, put it directly in for Safix to score, blocked off by Skyor. And Squixel will take that out of field, out of the box, and back over to the red half again, just back and forth clears off the backs of the defensives. And ball in next up. Kara missing that touch. This could be Skyor's chance. Stocky might get bumped out of the way, but he has got Safix still in that defensive line. In the last 10-second countdown, still need to score one back here. The ball returned by Safix. Here he comes with a second touch right on an empty net, and that's Vision Gaming taking the second game.
Yeah, and with 1 second left, this final second is just going to be painful for Vision, as they have to now sit and stew at this result. And a possible another sweep, Jay. I can't believe it. This should be the series that does not go to a sweep, most of all. And Vision Gaming, while still not looking their strongest, are just naturally so in tune to each other to hold this defensive game. Sparks look like they can't get anywhere near that net when they're putting forward a great defense themselves. It's just everything they do is getting counteracted.
And, you know, the counters have been so good from Vision Gaming that even when they were on the back foot, even when they were behind on the shot counts, their saves were so high up that, you know, there wasn't much that Sparks could be able to do against it. As you mentioned, counter after counter in that back line. And in the end, it works for Vision Gaming as they're able to counter-attack in the end, get themselves a game on the board. 2-0 up for the sweep. Will it be Sweep City for today? Well, at this stage, it is pretty likely. And all we need is one more game to go there. Vision Gaming on the precipice of a big win here to keep themselves in that top 6. Safix up already, looking for this ball out of the box. With that kickoff, a chance for Stocky as well as that ball bounces pretty high, but it is returned by the Sparks side, who do get a better read on this position. Kara. No boost there for him, gets that 100 in the midfield. Keeve there to receive that pass of Skyle. Skyle contesting in the midfield line. Players will start to break out of the vision half and start to get offensive. Stocky down. 2 players committing to his defense. His teammate has been taken out though. Kara will come forward to back up after the backboard. Here comes Safix, shooting a bit too high, but Stocky there is Safix. Shoves the last defender out of the way and sets up his teammate to draw the opening goal.
Safix is such a bully here. Look at Squixel and Net removed from play and then dragged into a Rule 2 against his will. Like, he's got to be sent into a timeout, you know, sit on the naughty step or something for that one, Jay.
Look at Skyle continuing to press forward, trying to find a way back in to redeem himself. I mean, I don't know what much there is to redeem. Safix was the guy that shoved him so far out of the way. Demo in against him. Stocky's going to do even more. Keeve is going to try to slow the pace down, but Kara's going to beat him. Still, Skyle gets a good challenge in, but that net's pretty open. Stocky's got a nice dunk down opportunity, takes that high, leaves it for a third man. And the last line of defense committed to that shot like it was going to go in. 2-0 now for Vision.
Yeah, good removal. The defenders and Squixel just couldn't do anything more. Jay, I think it's time to get real. Real talk, guys. I see a lot of love for VG in chat, but where's the love for Sparks, you know? Like, 4 minutes left, they need this comeback right now.
Vision Gaming are not going to try and allow that if possible. They've currently got the ball set up off to that corner. That backboard Squixel will come in. Safix going to get beaten out. Keeve wraps around now from this corner. Kara gets beaten. Chance available. Shot missed out from the second backup player. And no goals for Sparks. Safix, meanwhile, coming back in with his own dribble play. Have to take that one wide as it's way too far out position. Ball left into the midfield. Kara will come up, beaten off to the backboard, taken high. Stocky in and out, beaten. Safix, dunk down chance. 3-0 now for Vision Gaming. They are starting to take full control.
Yep, and someone might have to go get Stroby another broom because it's looking like another sweep coming on out here. Still time to come on back, but Squixel's had a disconnect.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Back in the lobby. No, it's
okay.
good.
All right, we're fine.
That's weird.
It's good. We're Gucci. He's back. I hope he stays that way. I don't know if there's going to be some more internet issues. The game's got to play out, though. Oh, Skyle, nice play in from his teammate of Keeve to bait in the defense and allow an open net for an opening goal. Now finally going on the board of Sparks.
Exactly that. Safix right in response. I don't think we can do much about it. I love that so much. About the disconnect. You know, like, yeah, unfortunately, you're back in the game. We can't really do much about that, can we now?
He's right. Technically, there isn't. And Safix and Keeve playing off each other, bounce out towards that corner. It's going to be Kara challenging one player, Squixel, trying to beat him out, trying to fake that one touch, but using his flick powers. Now it's Kara in Skyle of the sideboard. Stocky, pass up and over. Safix backing up to the defense. He suspects an offensive play is coming through, but Stocky still challenges that midfield line. He's got Kara alongside him. Bomb plays will force out one of the forward defenders, but they'll make their way back out. Here comes Keeve with an offense, leaves that ball right into the hands of Kara. Skyle puts that one back, but Stocky should be the man to find the clear. Safix going to try and receive it. Squixel intercepts, however, denies any further shots coming in.
Yeah, Squixel landed on the 100 at the side, so he was able to keep that going and be a bit threatening, but now he needs to run all the way back to defense because Keeve needs a hand, and there he is.
Squixel coming forward again, going to try to be the central point of this offensive, but this touch-and-go style is leaving so much breathing room for Vision Gaming. And they come, Kara demoing out another good player. Keeve got a force to get back, so he relied a lot on his teammate to get that touch in. And Stocky getting fed the pass back from Safix. Ball outside of that box to the left-hand corner. Kara coming in, Safix here with control, will pass back in off the backboard. Stocky beaten to the punch, so no shots on, no goals found. Still just 3-1 up at a minute and a half to the goal, to the end, I should say. Still in the center line, still opportunity presenting themselves, but just nothing being found by Vision Gaming. Finally, that demo and that goal from Safix.
After what had been such, I'm going to say, a defensive series so far, Jay, we move on into game 3, and then Vision Gaming let all hell loose. They are vicious right now. I've seen Kara go for, I think, about 3 demos so far, and that's just him alone. They're going full out attack, and this is a Vision Gaming on fire right now.
5-1, and the game just falls apart for Sparks.
Brazil, question mark?
At this point, that may be the best thing going for them. Accept the meme, they've got a minute to get it here. Vision Gaming looking likely that they'll be able to get that at their own pace at this stage. A couple of contests coming out. They're still trying to force the issue, Sparks, but Vision Gaming playing so patient, knowing that if they just bide their time, they'll find that offensive that gets them in with that 6th and 7th goal. But even if they don't get it, at 4 goals up in the lead, it's going to be such a difficult comeback to make happen. Skyor does feed into Kiev, almost forces an own goal, but not to be.
Yeah, real Monk-esque moment there. It wouldn't have hurt realistically. Oh, that's a great little pass over the Kara. Unfortunately, just wide of target. But yeah, unfortunately, I think the writing's on the wall here, Jay. 4 goals in 30 seconds. I don't think I have ever seen that been done before. In a minute, yes, but 30 seconds, no.
Ball setting it up here. Trying to get past him by Stock. He takes that one out to the corner instead of on target. But 10 seconds remain, and this series will be under wraps. This day will be under wraps as Vision Gaming look to put this one to bed. And Sparks are set to concede another game here in the TCS eSports League. Another series going the way of Vision Gaming as they defend their place in that top 6 and take the big win to close out the day.
Whilst this wraps up, I am going to be looking for the last time we had a day of just sweeps, because this is the first time we've seen it this season, Jay, which is just absolutely ludicrous. And I'm looking back, it's been a damn while. Yeah, last season, week 5.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's the mid-season, yo. Like, there's just something about it which calls for, you know, full sweeps. It's crazy.
Well, the full sweeps continue with Vision Gaming as they are going to be the victors against Sparks Esports. A bit of a shame, honestly, because they did fight well, but just Vision Gaming were a bit too much for them to handle, and not even a game being taken away in this case. So, bit unlucky in that one. Sparks going to have to take that on the chin, still being down in that bottom 4. But again, Vision Gaming with an important series victory to keep them in that top 6. So as we go to a break, we'll get to hear from them. We'll get to have that final little breakdown, so don't go anywhere. The TCS Esports League continues after this.
Hello? Hello, do you hear me? I need help. We had a crash. Yeah, he's awake, but he's in a lot of pain. And I don't know where we are.
It's okay. I have your location.
Please just hurry.
Don't worry, you're in safe hands.
Thank you. Thank you.
No matter where or when, real help is by your side.
I'm just going to keep doing this until they take us off.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to almost the end of the 6th match day here live from the HeroFest in Bern. Now, we almost had it all today, except for a non-sweep series. It's another 3-0, this time for the Vision Gaming Pegas against Sparks eSports Stroby. Is there anything you have to say about these results we had today?
I mean, I'm really disappointed in Sparks eSports because I know they can play better than what they just showed. I know exactly, and I know that next week when we are facing Sparks eSports, they're like the best team in the world. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed to see them losing this match or like losing in a sweep fashion. Yeah, because like the players, I think Squixel is one of the best up-and-coming youngsters in Switzerland in terms of Rocket League. Skyor the same, and Keva is just like an old-time veteran. I know they can play better, but maybe it just wasn't their day.
Well, Paili, anything to add? Do you think Sparks disappointed today?
Yeah, but I mean, Vision performed really good today, but I hope to see a bit more from them. And it's just a bit sad it's also a sweep, but I mean, we got almost that many matches than memes today, so at the end it was a good day.
Yeah, a lot of memes today, but people that didn't meme a lot were casters. Any any words of you for this match day?
I mean, Sweep City, all bow before it. It's it's a rare little species, as Bacon was mentioning. You know, in mid-season, last season is the last time we saw a full day of sweeps. And I'm honestly kind of surprised. I would have genuinely believed that there would have been some squads that actually, took games today, which kind of surprised me in that respect, because a few matches could, could have been, it could have been much closer, I think.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Some matches, especially, for example, the Lostic one, where they had 2 overtimes being defined by just 1 goal, could have been a different result. And don't you agree, Paelia?
Yeah, a bit sad, but at the end it's like that.
At the end, it's business as usual. Now, Bacon, any words from you about today? Anything that surprised you, as aside from the sweep city?
It is that sort of level of performance, and even though we're not, technically on LAN, figure it, with casters still at home and, players still playing from home because of the current situation and all of that, it still had that very much LAN environment with the play that was coming out. Everyone really playing to their fullest, and there's just something about the atmosphere, I guess. Even though it's just, another week in league play, all teams really came out to perform, and it's going to be one of those oddities where we'll look back over it in like a year's time, whatever, and it'll just be another Sweep City week where, it's just easy 3-0s, but that really does not tell the full story, does it?
It certainly does not, but let's look at the big picture here on the big screen behind me before we switch over to an interview. Maybe we could put up the standings right now. I'm not going to do another Weatherman performance. Let's tone it down a bit, But on the top of the mountain, usually where they belong, Edelweiss eSports, 6 wins, 0 losses, plus 17 game score and 18 points. But Kogo's and others are in close pursuit, as the only difference there is the match score. But Edelweiss has some hard matches coming up, especially against Team Sir, for example. Speaking of Team Sir, hey, they are third place, 5-1. The only loss against Mr. Paella, the god, the Rocket League god, who just couldn't put it through today. Lausanne, the Switzerland winners on fourth place, looking to make another impact and qualify for the playoffs. Vision Gaming, we just saw them perform 3-3, same as My Insanity. It's a tight race between those three, and there's just one spot left. Arctic Gaming, on the other hand, 2-4. It's not looking too good, but they still have a chance. While Sparks and Lostic, well, at least they're not last. I mean, because in last place, different esports, still looking for that win that they have to get if they, don't want to become the meme that Lostic should have been. What do you say, Paella? Are you surprised that you're not last?
Yes and no.
Is that so?
Oh, that's some confidence.
I like the confidence. Yeah, why are you not surprised?
Yeah, well, we had some good games. 2 or 3 weeks it wasn't working that well from us, but in the preseason, we had some days where we played real well, and I was confident that we can take a win. To be honest, not against Sir.
Well, but here we are.
Yeah, but now I'm happy that we got that early win, so take it.
Well, I've heard our interview partner is ready, so let's see who's behind us, and what a surprise! It's Aiko from Division Gaming Pekegas. Hello there, and congratulations on your very dominant performance today. 3-0 clean sweep.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Thanks, man. I'm feeling kinda well. Dude, I can't talk in this thing. Yeah, it was a strange game. I felt a bit off for the most of the part of it. I think our flow was not the best one, but we took the win in the end with a sweep, so I kind of would say we did pretty well.
Did you change something when you just look with the last few weeks where you got their losses? Did you just make some training this last week just to change a bit or on your performance, or did you just play like the last week?
I think we played worse compared to last week. Coconutters are nuts, and they are really good, and they have a lot of speed, especially in the air. If you put the ball up, you're always second. And today we had more space, we had more time, and I think we played a lot with that. Just we felt confident. After the first game, we talked a short moment, and we just were like, yeah, we got everything. We're not doing so well offensive-wise, but we are just solid. We don't take any risks behind. In the end, we can score, and so we just continue to play normally. Nothing special today, but I think, yeah, it worked.
Yeah, maybe this was the 6th match day.
Yes.
And so we are approaching the end, like the end of the season, and just like last season, we have that sort of close midfield of the standings, and it's you guys as well from Vision Gaming, the same situation. There's some teams that are really close in standings, and so the next 3 match days are going to be very important. What are you looking forward to playing these match day? Anything like that certain matchups is going to be more difficult?
I mean, every team in the TCS league is really strong. I think this year is the first year where you can say whatever series there is, there can always be like one team beating the others. It's never really an upset if a team wins. Of course, Edelweiss and Coconutters are like the 2 teams that are stronger on paper, but it's guys, I need to laugh as well. it's close. Everyone is so strong, and I feel like everyone can make playoffs. Everyone can make LAN. It's a year where, yeah, the level of Swiss Rocket League just went crazy high in the past 2 seasons, and it's just nuts how strong the teams are this year.
Well, Karaj, thank you very much for answering our questions, and good luck in the next few weeks in your upcoming matches.
Thank you.
Well, with that, we're going back to our caster friends from the UK. Now, Bacon and Jay, do you have anything to say about today in general, aside from the matches? How did you feel today?
If I can go first on this one, I'm still jealous that we're not there with you, because that set still looks sick. And I wish we could have worked on a LAN environment. It's been so long since I've been out of the country, but you know, it's still been a great day of action. You know, I've already made my reserves about the matches and how well they've gone so far over the day. But you know, it's another fun day at TCS, so you know, what can you expect?
Bacon, anything from you?
From me, it's just got to be just, where on earth does Kara get that mask from, that hat? Like, come on, we need to know. The shirt as well, mwah, absolute top tier style.
Well, with that being said, we're moving on from today. We've had a great event today, great location, and we have a few more words from our host, the HeroFest, after this quick break.